Three people soon came to Xiao Mu's side, patted him on the shoulder, and said with a smile, "Brother, are we going to return the love you saved us last time?" Xiao Mu felt very grateful. He patted the people around him on the shoulder and said with a smile, "Thank you for your help." The three men looked at each other, then suddenly laughed, turned to look at the people around them, then came over again, attached to Xiao Mu's ear, and said, "Why don't you take us to steal books again?" Suddenly, the eyes of the three people all lit up. Xiao Mu gave a bitter smile in his heart. These three people are really crazy. How can they be so obsessed with this kind of secret script? Now they're on the cusp of the storm. If they are found, I'm afraid the consequences will be very serious. He clenched his fist, but suddenly thought, it seems that stealing books is really a way for them to improve their level quickly. And Xiao Mu is also hesitating, and he doesn't know how to improve the realm. If he improves the realm now, maybe the intelligence communication will be more smooth and accurate in the future. What's more, it's also a good thing to get the hearts of these friends. Nodding, Xiao Mu said with a smile, "Don't worry. We'll find a dark and windy night. It's not peaceful recently. We may be strict. Let's miss this time." Then several people's plans fell silent again. On the other hand, Shang Wenzhong was very suspicious of Xiao Mu. "In my opinion, this man is a bit strange." Shang Wenzhong leaned on his forehead, frowned, and said, "I feel that person is very similar to Xiao Mu before. Maybe this person used some technique to make his face changed. But haven't we ever found this man before?" Shang Wanli said, with a look of distress. "I think we should know if it's a spy or not if we have to try." Shang Wenzhong seemed to have thought of some plan, and a gloomy smile gradually came to his lips. "So how do we try?" Shang Wanli looks at Shang Wenzhong in surprise. They lowered their heads and whispered for a moment, and a smile suddenly appeared in Shang Wanli's eyes. The next day, Xiao Mu had planned to steal the library that night, but he suddenly received an order that they would carry out a battle plan tonight. They wanted to attack the stronghold of Long Qingxie and others. The stronghold was on a nearby mountain, but the specific stronghold address was not given. This makes Xiao Mu very strange because he has been in the headquarters of the Beast Gate recently and has not left, so he does not know the exact location of Long Qingxie and others. But since the people of the Beast Gate have given the order, it shows that this matter is true. In this way, Xiao Mu was very nervous. He began to worry about whether the intelligence would go wrong again. In addition, his team did not participate in this mission. However, three people who planned to steal books also came. Several people saw him and came to him without saying a word. They pulled him to the corner, whispered, and said happily, "We agreed to go tonight. Are you in the plan?" Xiao Mu is about to say that he has, because it is convenient to go out to send information. On the one hand, he hesitated again, bowed his head, and kept silent for a long time, and said, "Maybe our plan to steal books this evening will be canceled because I am. I'll show you where you are. If you're not here, let's go. Don't worry about it. If you don't go this time, can you believe me to tell the boss about stealing books directly?" Someone laughed. But this time, the situation was urgent, and he didn't know how many people were sent by the Beast Gate. Xiao Mu was very tangled in his heart and bowed his head to meditate for a long time. On the one hand, the people in the headquarters have already been killed by Long Qingxie and others. Now if we gather together to attack Long Qingxie, we may be overpowering ourselves, although Long Qingxie doesn't get any advantage. Thinking about this, I was relieved, so I nodded and said, "Tonight, let's go to the library." So four people together, in the middle of the night, toward the direction of the library, but Xiao Mu did not know this decision let him successfully avoid this plot. The next day, sitting on the throne, Shang Wenzhong frowned and said, "It's obvious that this man is not moving. So this man can be ruled out for the time being?" Shang Wan asked, but Shang Wenzhong shook his head seriously and said, "That's impossible." Squinting his eyes, he said, "The spy must feel our plan now. We can only explore it slowly now." Xiao Mu stood at the door of the main hall, pale, and vomited. How dangerous it is. If I had gone to the plan yesterday, I'm afraid it would have been exposed. I can't help sighing when I think about it. But now they are so suspicious. It's not a way. So Xiao Mu must think of a way now. How can he let Shang Wenzhong no longer doubt himself. Even with this stone on his body, Xiao Mu's face can still be remembered by people with high level. Xiao Mu thought in his heart and was ready to leave here quietly. Suddenly, he heard a voice behind him. Who is it? In the heart, greatly surprised, obviously own movement is a little big, already let the inside of the Shangwen's Hong found. Xiao Mu quickly turned around, quickly ran toward the dark. But the Shangwen's Hong behind him was faster. Before Xiao Mu could run far, the Shangwen's Hong behind him suddenly grabbed his neck, pulled him back and threw him on the ground. Xiao Mu was thrown into a mess. His eyes were full of stars. He lay on the ground for a long time and didn't get up. Then he heard Shangwen's Hong sneer. What do I say? I say this person has a problem. Look who he is. Then Shengwanli came out of the room and came to Xiao Mu. When he saw Xiao Mu, he was surprised and said, It's really Xiao Mu. How can he be in our team all the time? Xiao Mu's heart is surprised. How to return a responsibility? Why can be recognized suddenly? The hand touched his chest. Sure enough, the stone disappeared. Shangwen's Hong walked forward slowly, picked up a stone, and looked at it for a long time. I think the reason why he can hide so long is because of this stone. Then he put the stone on Xiao Mu's body and began to laugh. Sure enough, this stone must have something to do with him. As soon as he got close to this stone, his face would be blurred and people could not remember his appearance. Suddenly he raised his hand to lift Xiao Mu up and said with a sneer, It's really smart. I can't find this kind of thing. Xiao Mu's heart sank to the bottom of the valley, and his whole body suddenly felt a chill. His heart was really finished. Just in time, we can't find the energy stone in our base. We'd better lock him up and continue to provide us with energy. Then he threw Xiao Mu to one of his men, who tied him up and took him away. At the military aircraft camp of Yunjiao Army Base, Yunwu was dressed in a long, smoky gray shirt, with his armor hanging on the shelf beside him and his long hair tied up high, showing his whole spirit and brightness. At this time, she was standing and several top people in her team were looking at the same map and discussing something. The terrain of this place is complex, easy to defend, but difficult to attack. Although the bases of Wanhuman are all in prosperous places, according to the newspaper, they didn't mean to fight this time. Instead, they directly closed the gate and opened the city protection battle. We have no choice but to attack. Cloud Dance pointed to a city on the map, frowning and preaching to the people around. A long time has passed, the front is advancing little by little, and the power of the Beast Gate is being destroyed little by little. It's just that it's very difficult for Yunwu to capture the city. The two sides have been deadlocked for many days, which is very annoying. Just at this time, a loud newspaper came out of the room. Cloud Dance casually should, then see a dark man came in, hand still holding a thick letter, handed to Cloud Dance. Report to the leader. News is coming from the southern front. General Gao has successfully attacked the prefecture-level base of Wanhuman. As soon as the words came out, people's eyes lit up immediately. Prefecture-level base. That's second only to the headquarters. And it's the only battle to win the prefecture-level base so far. In order to make the distribution convenient, Yunwu and others divided all the bases of Wanhuman before the battle, and also divided the strength of Heaven and Earth Xianwang into 4 levels. There is only one Heaven level, which is the headquarters of Wanhuman. We can imagine how great the victory is. Which base is it? Someone asked. Hui Chieftain, it's the base of Dongxia Kingdom. It's in the south of our country. Now their front has surpassed ours. It's Gaoyu. Cloud Dance laughs and shakes his head. On the one hand, Gaoyu is the most resourceful. What about the others? Dragon Boss, like us, has captured more than 10 countries, and has also convinced those countries to join in the fight. Shangwan General and General Mu are slower than us. They just captured the 11th country yesterday, and they are recovering today. General Qi and General Nangong sent a victory report today, and they have captured the 10th country, and they are preparing for the next battle. And General Meng Bai, the man, reported the information he received one by one, and almost everyone was a winner. After a report, Yunwu became more clear about the current situation, took a pen, and made a few marks on the map. Tell them to pay attention to the movement of the 10,000 beast gate and keep their strength to the maximum while fighting. Don't forget, we have to attack the base camp of the 10,000 beast gate. Yes, the man answered respectfully and quickly stepped down. Look, Chief, suddenly, a man standing next to Yunwu looked at the map and exclaimed, now the base we are going to attack is surrounded by us and General Gao. If General Gao can help us, we will have a better chance of winning. Yunwu just listened to the success report, but didn't think of it. At this time, as soon as he was reminded, his eyes lit up. He took up his pen and wrote on a blank piece of paper for a long time. All kinds of symbols represent the terrain and the number of people. After a long time, he put down his pen. You see, Yunwu pointed to the things on the paper and said to the people around him, with General Gao's team here, we can fight from here and then attack back and forth. The personnel arrangement can be. In the meeting hall, people listened carefully, watched Yunwu tell the next action a little bit. At the beginning, they still couldn't understand it, but later, more and more people showed surprise on their faces, as if they saw success in front of them. Good idea. After Yunwu finished, the people all praised. As long as we follow this method, we will be able to win the city successfully. Those turtles in the Beast Gate have been hiding for so many days, and finally they have to be beaten down by us. Yes, these bastards. We have to let them know our strength. Let's go. Go back and get ready, go. Go now with that. They were ready to leave and prepare. At this time, suddenly, there was another announcement outside the door. Newspaper dash. The voice is loud and urgent, as if something big happened, and forcefully stops those who are about to leave. Come in. Cloud dance orders away. Then a man in gold armor came in. As soon as he came in, he didn't even have time to salute. So he quickly said, Chief, there's a messenger from the Beast Gate to send a message. What? The Gate of Beasts? As soon as the announcer's voice fell, all the people on the scene were stunned, and their faces looked wonderful. They didn't understand why the Beast Gate would send someone to deliver the letter. The messenger of the Beast Gate? Cloud Dance wrung eyebrow to ask away. Yes, the man said, and then handed an envelope in his hand. This is the letter. The messenger has been taken down by us and is waiting to be summoned at any time. Cloud Dance with the result is ready to open. A few generals standing on one side quickly stopped her. Chief, don't be careless. This is from the Gate of Beasts. Chief, beware of deceit. Cloud Dance hand action did not stop, but it is light back to a few people. There is no fraud. Not all to see it. With that, the letter had been opened. Although everyone knew that Yunwu was telling the truth, they were still anxious and prepared for it. As soon as the letter was opened, several strands of black things fell down and landed on the table. Several generals got nervous and wanted to pull Yunwu aside. Yunwu is calm. If she is not sure, how dare she open the letter directly? But when her eyes fell on the broken black things on the table, her pupils suddenly contracted. That's hair. Cloud Dance heart suddenly flashed a bad premonition. Quickly opened the hands of the letter seriously read up. In addition to the first few strands of hair, there was a thin letter and a few strands of hair in the envelope. The letter was very simple, but Yunwu knew it was written by Shang Wentong himself. Seeing nothing unusual, the generals put down their hearts one after another. But then they saw that Yunwu's look became more and more ugly. They looked at each other and didn't know what had happened. However, Yunwu held a short letter in his hand for a long time and didn't put it down after reading it for many times. After a long time, Yunwu finally took a deep breath and powerlessly put down the letter in his hand. His eyes were deep, and he didn't know what he was thinking. Chief, what's the matter? Several generals saw the strange look of Cloud Dance, and they asked anxiously. Yunwu pointed to the letter, and several generals picked it up and read it in turn. This are these Xiao Mu's hair. Several generals were surprised and said, Xiao Mu fell into their hands again. It's Xiao Mu who has been telling us all these days. Yunwu nodded difficultly, with a bitter smile on her face. I should have thought of that. Cloud Dance Light says, but in the heart blame oneself. Why don't it already have suspicion of time to send someone to investigate clear? Will Xiao Mu back, but still want to let him stay in such a dangerous place? Now has become such a situation. How to do? Well, Chief, what do we do now? Is it really like the retreat mentioned by Shang Wenhong? Asked the general, frowning. Shang Wenhong knew that Yunwu attached great importance to emotion and righteousness, so he dared to make such a request. The letter not only says that Yunwu wants to retire, but also that she wants to go to Wanwoman headquarters alone to exchange Xiaomu. How can Yunwu go to such an obvious trap? But if he didn't, Xiaomu would have no way to live. How is it possible to withdraw? A general said directly, "We've been fighting for half a year, and in a few months, the whole upper boundary will be ours. How can we say that we're going to retreat? Don't you know that if the upper world falls into their hands again, will those countries that support us survive? But do you want to ignore Xiaomu's safety?" Another general immediately retorted, "Don't forget, he is very kind to the whole Yun family army. If he hadn't saved the leader at the beginning, where would there be a cloud army now? Xiaomu's name is very important. Isn't it important that there are so many creatures in the upper world and the safety of the leader? How is it possible to ask the leader to change Xiaomu? I don't mean to let the leader change." Several generals quarreled with each other, one by one, blushing and anxious, but no matter how they quarreled, there was no result. From the beginning to the end, Yunwu didn't say a word. He just got up quietly and went to the bedside. Looking at the soldiers who were still training outside, he didn't know what he was thinking. They argued for a long time, but nothing happened. Finally, someone came up to the cloud dance, standing in front of the window, and asked, "Chief, do you have any idea?" This words, several people all quiet down, waiting for the decision of cloud dance. Yunwu knew clearly that what these people said was reasonable. Let's not say that Xiaomu once saved himself. Even if he didn't save himself, he was also one of his important partners, so in any case, he couldn't save himself. Even when she finished reading the letter, she had already made a decision in her heart. Xiaomu had to go to save her. Now, other people are thinking about whether to save or not, but Yunwu is thinking about how to save Xiaomu intact. The hidden Dan on her body is only enough for one person, and only one. If she only relies on Chaos Hall, she can't escape the exploration of Shang Wenhong. Unless she goes to save Xiaomu alone, and then hides in Chaos Hall and leaves with Hidden Dan under the condition of ensuring Xiaomu's safe departure, so as to achieve the beauty of both. But such an obvious thing. Can't Shang Wenhong think of it? Cloud Dancing Brow how can't think of an idea. Chief. After the crowd saw to shout, Cloud Dance still didn't respond and couldn't help shouting again. Cloud Dance turned around, looked at the crowd, and said seriously, "You go down to prepare first. The previous plan remains unchanged." A few people are stunned. Then someone asks aloud, "Chief, are you ready to leave him alone?" Yunwu shook his head and said, "Naturally, it's my business." The content of the letter is very clear. One is to retreat. The other is to exchange Xiaomu. Our attack plan remains unchanged, and the soldiers will not withdraw for the time being, but I will go to see Shang Wenhong. In this way, we also have the bargaining chips to deal with, so that we will not be completely passive. If Shang Wenhong plays tricks, even if Yunwu falls into his hands, Yunjijin will still attack under the leadership of all the generals. Today's Yunjia army is not the same as before. After 6 months of training, all the experts, including Shangwan and Meng Bai, have greatly increased their strength. What's more valuable is that they all have the experience of leading the army and become strong men who can support one side independently. They take part of the Yunjia army to set up their own team, and each of them is responsible for one peace area. Everyone can take the place of Yunwu. Chief, it's too dangerous for you to do this. You can't. Think twice, Chief. Xiaomu is very important, but if you want to change him, no one in the Cloud family army can agree. Cloud danced tighten brow. Who says I want to change? Everyone was stunned. The leader just said. Cloud Dance sneered and said, I'm going to see Shang Wenhong, but I'm not going to die. This time, I'm going to save Xiaomu completely. Looking at the look on Yunwu's face, several people knew that it was useless for them to say anything else, so they had to look at each other and finally said, Chief, let's all go with you. It's okay. No need. Cloud wave a hand way. A person go can, you follow, will let on the contrary officer grave heightened vigilance. If you're really worried about me, you might as well do something else. Do something else? A few people doubt of ask away. Do what? Cloud Dance raised a cold smile at the corner of his mouth and gave an order without hesitation. Tell the generals and other bases to increase the attack. Attack the headquarters of the Beast Gate with the fastest speed. Chief, according to our original plan, it will take at least 3 months to win the whole upper bound. If we really work hard, a general said in embarrassment. You don't have to work hard. Yunwu waved his hand. It's just to advance the speed of everything. Our Yunjia army doesn't need to fight recklessly. You just need to take the words to them. They naturally know how to do it. Tomorrow I will go to the Gate of Beasts. As for you, attack the city according to the previous plan. Did you hear that? Several generals looked at each other and saw their trust in Yunwu in each other's eyes. Since she made a decision so definitely, there must be no problem. So they all nodded and immediately said, yes. Yunwu ordered some other things. Several generals listened very carefully. When all the things were ordered, they left the room one by one. Yunwu was still thinking about the countermeasures when he saw Shangwen's Hong tomorrow. Another base led by Long Qingxia. Different from Yunwu, today's dragon Qingxia is resting. He just won a city a few days ago. Naturally, he has to stay for a few days to repair and move on. When Long Qingxia was thinking about when to attack the next city and whether to let these bastards have too much time to rest, he received the news from Yunwu. What did you say? The little guy wants to go to the headquarters alone? After receiving the news, Long Qingxia directly ignored the order to attack that part with all his strength. Instead, he grabbed the person in front of him and asked with staring eyes. The only thing that could make him so impolite was the news of Yunwu. Yes, the leader said that she was sure to retreat and that Xiao Mu had to be saved because he had sent us so many letters in such a dangerous place. That person's words didn't finish, then directly by the Long Qing evil throw to one side, then quickly obediently stand there, a little voice also don't dare to make. The expression on Long Qingxia's face was very ugly, and his mind was full of clouds. He was very anxious about what might happen when he went to the Beast Gate, but he knew clearly that he couldn't stop her at all. Otherwise, if Xiao Mu didn't save her, he would feel guilty all his life. For today's plan, we can only rack our brains to think about how to make Yunwu safely save Xiao Mu from the Beast Gate and come out again. Long Qingxia thought about it for a long time. Finally, he bit his teeth and decided to take risks. So he asked the messenger, did she say when to leave? Yes, the leader will leave on the next day. Tomorrow. Long Qingxia's eyes narrowed, and then he took up the pen and wrote a few pages. He wrote several letters in a row, then handed them to the man and said, go and send a letter to other people as soon as you can, quick. As soon as the man saw Long Qingxia's attitude, he didn't dare to neglect him. He quickly took it over and left. The next morning, before everyone in the base woke up, Yunwu pushed the door open and ran to the direction of the Beast Gate. Beast Gate headquarters. Cloud Dance came to the headquarters, the hand of the ancient sword wrapped in black flame, burning. She stood at the gate of the main hall, her face as cold as frost, and the whole body sent out the prestige, which made some of the lower-level minions of the Beast Gate tremble and almost fell to the ground. The clouds in the sky are very thick. It seems that they're going to crush the whole headquarters of the Beast Gate. Yunwu is biting his teeth. From a distance, he can see the gate of the Beast Gate, which is heavily guarded. There are as many as 12 guards at the gate, about 6 of them. They are all energetic and don't look at everything in front of them carelessly. During this period of time, the Beast Gate has been attacked repeatedly, which makes them suffer a great deal. Their troops are seriously damaged, so they dare not be careless now. Who knows if someone will attack the Beast Gate suddenly next. However, when Yunwu suddenly appeared in front of them, the people of the Beast Gate were still startled. They almost had no time to pick up the weapon in their hands, and they were already trembling. Anyone who doesn't know her knows her. Almost all the guard backed out. Although we all know that Yunwu came to trade, they were still instinctively afraid of Yunwu. So someone rushed into the headquarters to report the news. Before they ran into the main hall, they saw Shang Wenhong coming out of the main hall and standing in front of Yunwu. Yunwu, I don't know our conditions. What's your consideration? Shang Wenhong seems to be in a good mood. He steps down the main hall and comes to Yunwu. Let's talk about the conditions first. I want to see the situation of Xiao Mu first. Yunwu frowned, and his face was very cold. He didn't want to see Shang Wenhong's face at all. Shang Wenhong was not annoyed, but he just said with a smile, "Don't worry. If we kill Xiao Mu, we have no qualification to negotiate with you." On hearing this, Yunwu's face finally looked a little better, but he said with a cold face, "I said, I must see Xiao Mu, otherwise everything is free." Shang Wenhong raised his eyebrows and looked at Yunwu. He seemed to ponder for a long time. Finally, he said faintly, "If you have to insist, I can take you, but I can't bring Xiao Mu here." Cloud Dance also bowed his head to think about it. Maybe he thought Shang Wenhong's worry was right, so he nodded and said, "Then you take me there. I don't want you to play any tricks. I can also tell you that the soldiers have not withdrawn yet." Shang Wenhong shrugged his shoulders as if it didn't matter. He turned around and took the lead to walk into the main hall. Then he turned straight down and went underground with Cloud Dance. Yunwu frowned because she knew that they had locked Xiao Mu underground again and used it as an energy stone for the whole base. The feeling of taking advantage of Xiao Mu made Yunwu very angry. He followed Shang Wenhong and went underground step by step, walking lower and lower, walking colder and colder, until finally Yunwu's mouth has exhaled breath. Finally, in the dark place under the ground, Yunwu finally saw Xiao Mu, who was pale and trapped under the ground. His face was dispirited and his eyes were in a trance. It was obvious that these days of exercise and grinding had made him unbearable. Suddenly hear the sound from outside. Xiao Mu finally some dull raised his head. At this time, eyes a bright, then eyes a little red. Because in front of him, Yunwu stood quietly in front of him, looking at him with a smile, but did not say a word. Yunwu frowned slightly and looked at Xiao Mu. It seemed that there was no obvious scar on Xiao Mu's body, but the whole person was not so energetic, which made Yunwu very sad. He turned his head and said to Shang Wenhong, "You release him. I want to see him." Shang Wenhong hesitated for a moment, but later he thought about it. After all, Yunwu's realm is too low. In front of him, if she is alone, it can't become the climate. Underground, he has countless ways to find her, even if she is invisible. Thinking about this, he nodded and told the people around him to let Xiao Mu out. As soon as he came out, Yunwu quickly held Xiao Mu and looked at him up and down. Fortunately, Xiao Mu had no obvious scars. Just looked very tired, just left and right to see, really nothing. This really vomit a breath, sneer. "Shang Wenhong, I see you're still sincere, so you let Xiao Mu go first, and then I replace him." "Who knows?" Shang Wenhong snorted coldly, full of sarcasm. "Yunwu, do you really think I'm a fool? Who doesn't know that you have some special means to hide your breath? If I let him go and you disappear in front of me, what should I do? Do you really think I'm stupid?" At this moment, Xiao Mu suddenly turned to Yunwu and called, "Yunwu, I'm of no great use. You don't have to give up your life for me. You know, you have more important things to do." Cloud Dance didn't pay attention to him, just raised his head, calmly looked at Shang Wenhong, said, "Then you come to talk about, how can we exchange this condition?" Shang Wenhong had a sarcastic smile on his mouth, but he didn't speak. Turning to look at Xiao Mu looks at Shang Wenhong angrily, but his body is in front of Yunwu. It seems that he is afraid of Yunwu's mistakes. Shang Wenhong looked at the two men and burst out laughing. "What a loyal dog protector. I just think you are too cunning. If I let Xiao Mu go now, I'm afraid I will be destroyed here. How can I believe you now?" On hearing this, Yunwu frowned. But before she could say anything, Xiao Mu could not help it. He waved his sword and said, "Shang Wenhong, don't be too complacent then." Before Shang Wenhong could react, he rushed forward. "Xiao Mu." Yunwu was surprised, but he didn't dare to neglect it. At this time, he could only help Xiao Mu, so he rushed up, but then several experts rushed to fight with Yunwu. But Xiao Mu was defeated by Shang Wenhong after all. In this way, he was seen by Shang Wenhong. Shang Wenhong turns his head and looks at Yunwu. Yunwu is concentrating on fighting against several experts around him, but has no time to care about Xiaomu. Suddenly, he reached out and grabbed Xiaomu's neck, lifted him up, looked at the cloud dance, and said, "How do you think about cloud dance? I want you to give me a definite answer." Before he heard the sound, Yunwu turned his head and looked in the direction of Xiaomu. Xiaomu's face turned red, and he felt very sad. He opened his mouth, but couldn't breathe. "If you dare to hurt him today, I'm going to level this place today." Yunwu's eyes are red, and his tone is fierce. Yunwu gritted his teeth, looked at the people around him, and looked at the red-faced Xiaomu in Shang Wenhong's hands. He glared at Shang Wenhong in front of him angrily and said, "Originally, I came to negotiate with you, but you fight here quietly. What do you want me to do?" On hearing this, Shang Wenhong nodded with a smile. Finally, he reached out and let go of Xiaomu, shrugged his shoulders, and said, "I just don't know. How do you want to negotiate this?" Xiaomu, who was put down, ran to Yunwu in a hurry, frowned tightly, took Yunwu's arm, and said, "Yunwu, you can't do this. Now you are not the time to save me, but the time to gather the army to discuss attacking the Beast Gate. It's very unwise of you to save me and change me." He sighed and whispered, "It's not a pity that I'm dead alone, but now I still need to use my life to hold them in Shang Wenhong, so now I can't die. If you leave here, it's the greatest help to me." But Yunwu frowned, and her eyes were slightly red. She couldn't hear it. Now what Xiaomu said is nonsense. She turned away from Xiaomu and looked at him very seriously. "I said you can't die. You just can't die. It's no use trying to persuade me. Today I have to save you." Then he turned his head, looked up at Shang Wenhong, and said, "I'll change Xiaomu. I'll be the hostage. You let him go." Before his words, Xiaomu shook his head seriously and said, "It's impossible. You can't succeed in Shang Wenhong. If you dare to hurt Yunwu, I will never let you go. You are so affectionate that I have been moved to tears." Shang Wenhong sneered and suddenly said, "But I've changed my mind now. Neither of you can leave now." Suddenly, a black fighting spirit sprang out of his body. His eyes were red and his fingers were like withered claws. Yunwu suddenly turned red. He quickly pushed away Xiaomu and then swung his big knife to Shang Wenhong. The aggressive appearance made Shang Wenhong give up his attack on Xiaomu and withdraw to one side. But Yunwu didn't dodge anymore. The thunder element on the broadsword was shining. She looked at a group of people in black robes around her. Her eyebrows suddenly wrinkled. She turned to Xiaomu and said, "You deal with other people, I'll deal with Shang Wenhong." Xiaomu nodded seriously and turned to the group of people behind him. But now, two people suffer from the enemy, very difficult. Yunwu calls Xiaojiu and Xiaoqiu to help. However, this situation makes Yunwu very nervous. Turn around and look at Xiaomu. Xiaomu is also hard to fight. There are many people in black robe, and most of them are strong. Surrounded by Xiaomu, Xiaomu has been injured for a long time. "Shang Wenhong, you villain." Cloud Dance gnaws his teeth and roars, but Shang Wenhong is laughing, not moved at all, easily avoiding the attack of Cloud Dance. "I don't think you want all the people here to die here, so put away your conspiracy. You don't think I'll lose your plan to save Xiaomu. You have Chaos Hall and Hidden Dan. If you disappear from my eyes, I can't find you." Yunwu frowned deeply, thinking that Shang Wenhong really knew me, and he knew everything I wanted to use thoroughly. If it goes on like this, the consequences will be Cloud Dance turns to see Xiaomu, and Xiaomu also turns to see himself not far away. But in an instant, a black-robed man behind Xiaomu suddenly took up a weapon and stabbed Xiaomu. "Xiaomu, be careful." As soon as Yunwu called out, he heard Xiaomu snort, and his abdomen was pierced. He turned pale and stabbed the man in black behind him. He pulled out the sword from his stomach and looked at Yunwu. However, Yunwu was still looking at him, smiling, covering the wound on his stomach, and turned to fight. Behind him, Shang Wenhong has already stretched out his hand to grasp Yunwu's neck, which is a fatal weakness for anyone. Shang Wenhong sneered and looked at Yunwu's neck exposed in front of him. It was as fast as lightning and suddenly grabbed it. But Shang Wenzhong didn't expect that Yunwu had already expected that Shang Wenzhong would sneak attack behind his back. He easily avoided Shang Wenzhong's hand and slashed it back with a backhand. The whirring wind made Shang Wenzhong's face slightly changed, and he hurried back. However, another black-robed man, standing beside Yunwu, secretly extended his weapon to Yunwu. Yunwu, who is concentrating on dealing with Shang Wenzhong, doesn't pay any attention to the minions behind her. When she feels the attack behind her, it's too late. She stabs her arm with a long sword. Suddenly, there was a sharp pain in his right hand, and his wrist became soft. Guwu broadsword was thrown on the ground with a bang, and blood flowed slowly down his arm. As soon as Xiao Mu sees that Yunwu is injured, he turns red and runs towards Yunwu. However, he is obstructed by the Wan Human's men around him. He can only deal with the Wan Human's men around him and watch the situation of Yunwu. He is worried, but can't help it. Yunwu covers his arm in pain. Now he really can't even hold a knife. If it goes on like this, I'm afraid there's only one way to die. His left hand is very inconvenient to take up his ancient martial arts sword and hasten to stop bleeding with water. Yunwu, it's a wrong decision for you to come here today. I don't think that even if they come, I'm afraid they can save you. Shang Wenzhong is very proud of Cloud Dance said, but suddenly frowned. Because all of a sudden, a huge cannibal suddenly appeared in front of Yunwu. The cannibal suddenly opened its big mouth and bit the people on the ground. Suddenly, bursts of heartbreaking screams sounded, and countless black-robed people had been torn to pieces by the cannibal. Suddenly, a man in black came in behind him and said to Shang Wenzhong, "Report to boss." There's a big army coming in. Cloud Dance suddenly in the heart of tight. Thought, if it is the army, then I'm afraid it should be Dragon Xingxia. And how can Dragon Xingxia bring so many people to break into here? And before Cloud Dance clearly concealed the crowd, quietly came, in the end, who leaked the news. Thinking about this, a burst of anger in Yunwu's heart suddenly came into being. He turned his head and looked at the direction of the black-robed man. Long Xingxia was the first to appear in the sight of Cloud Dance. He was holding his own épée in his hand. His brow was tight, his eyes were cold, and his whole body was full of murderous spirit. And not far behind him, a large group of people, like a black cloud, followed him and slowly came here. All of a sudden, everyone began to deal with the 10,000 beast men stationed here. Cloud Dance bowed his head and sneered, shouting, "Little Nine, go!" Just then, Xiaojiu suddenly rushed out, leaped up, and bit Shang Wenzhong's face. Shang Wenzhong's brows are wrinkled, and there is a sound of trouble in the dark. He quickly sidesteps to avoid it, but suddenly a phoenix flies down in the sky. The shrill cry makes Shang Wenzhong nervous, but he sees that the phoenix has swept over his head, trying to pick up his collar. Shang Wenzhong gave a cold hum and suddenly clapped it. With great power, the black fighting air was shooting in the direction of Xiaoqiu. Suddenly, Xiaoqiu turned to avoid it. Yunwu looks at Shang Wenzhong. Shang Wenzhong has been distracted by Xiaojiu and Xiaoqiu. It's a good time for Yunwu to sneer in his heart, tear off one of his clothes, tie the dagger in his hand together, try it, it should be okay, and then leap up so fast that Shang Wenzhong can't react. Just hear Shang Wenzhong cry out, "Cloud Dance sneer," shake off the blood on his knife, look at Shang Wenzhong, but see Shang Wenzhong cover his stomach. On the stomach, a wound was so big that it seemed to cut off Shang Wenzhong, but it was not deep. It didn't seem to cause much damage to Shang Wenzhong. Cloud Dance, suddenly hard to sink, turned to see Xiao Wood there. Xiaomu has already run over and stood beside Yunwu. His wounds make him look very embarrassed. He gasps heavily, and his wounds are bleeding. He gradually dyed his clothes red. He comes to Yunwu and says, "Yunwu, no, you can't go quickly. I'll deal with it here. If we have to go alone, we can't escape at all." "What the hell, no way. I can't let you die. I want to go with you." Cloud Dance frowned tightly, holding the knife in both hands, quickly attacks Shang Wenzhong. Xiaomu looks at Yunwu with a complicated face. He always knows that Yunwu is a very stubborn person. There is no way to change what she has decided, which makes Xiao Mu very sad. He doesn't want Yunwu to die for him or save him. However, Yunwu always tells Xiaomu to take him with him. Xiaomu lowered his head and thought carefully. In his eyes, he seemed to have a little bit of determination. He suddenly leaped forward and waved his sword to resist the attack of Shang Wenhong. Standing in front of Yunwu, he said, "Yunwu, I advise you that the best way for you now is to leave here. I think you can't put your life in because of me. You know, your life is not good now. They belong to themselves, but to all those who are waiting for the elimination of the Beast Gate. So, Yunwu, stop it." Cloud Dance's tone is a little cold, but Xiaomu can hear it. The tone is angry. He knows that Cloud Dance is determined and doesn't intend to leave by himself. The Cloud Dance, standing behind Xiaomu, stopped the blood from the wound of Xiaomu with water element, then stood side by side with Xiaomu, and the big knife crossed in front of him and said, "Xiaomu, you can rest assured. The attack of Shang Wenhong is very fierce, but Yunwu and Yunwu are not the opponents of Shang Wenhong at all. They reluctantly accept the attack of Shang Wenhong. Yunwu and Yunwu are already panting for breath, with big and small wounds and hot pain. Shang Wenhong didn't get any advantage either. Although the wounds on his body were not fatal, they seriously slowed down Shang Wenhong's speed. He was very embarrassed, and his clothes were broken. Yunwu and Xiaomu are very alert. On the one hand, they have to be alert to the sudden attack of Shang Wenhong. On the other hand, they have to solve the problem of the black robe people around them. Cannibal Flower's efforts to eliminate the black robe man behind him are very strong, and Xiaojiu and Xiaoqiu also help Yunwu fight against Shang Wenhong. However, they're all hurt to varying degrees, which makes Yunwu feel sad. Yunwu's injured hand kept shaking, and the knife became more and more heavy in his hand. Finally, the knife was deeply inserted on the ground, making a sound of miso. Yunwu's whole body softened and fell on his knees with cold sweat and pale face. Xiaomu was so scared that he bent down to help Yunwu. As soon as Shang Wenhong's eyes brightened, he immediately picked up one of his men's swords on the ground and stabbed Xiaomu. Xiaomu could not dodge, but was stabbed and fell to the ground. Yunwu gets up in a hurry and protects Xiaomu behind him. His chest fluctuates violently, and his face is cold. The battle entered a state of anxiety. Shang Wenhong's eyes were wide open, as if he was going to swallow Yunwu alive, even with a touch of madness in his eyes. "Cloud Dance, you want to destroy the Beast Gate? Think it's that easy?" The roar of anger resounded all over the world, and the whole people of the Beast Gate were shocked. After staying here for so long, I know Shang Wenhong is irritable, but I have never seen him get so angry. It seems that he may die with Yunwu at any time. Shang Wan was very anxious. He was in the middle of the battle. Seeing Shang Wenhong like this, he had to try his best to get close to Shang Wenhong and remind him anxiously, "Don't forget that we still have the headquarters. Don't be so emotional." Shang Wenhong couldn't listen to others at this time. Shang Wanli persuaded him. On the contrary, he glared at Shang Wanli and sneered. "How can I go to that point? Today, even if they could destroy this place, I will kill them." Having said that, Shang Wenhong rushed forward directly, and the black energy burst up. From a distance, I only felt that Shang Wenhong was black. Yunwu and Xiaomu fight side by side, with several summoning beasts. Both of them are injured, but others are pestering other experts. There are so many experts in the headquarters that they don't have any extra thoughts to take care of them. Only the dragon's eyes can see them from time to time and pay attention to the safety of Yunwu. They all know that today's war is extremely dangerous, but none of them flinches back. All of them are in the mood of looking at death as if they would return home. In the face of the beast men, all the forces that continued in the past broke out. Little dance. At this time, Xiaomu suddenly made a voice and called softly. Unlike before, this time his voice was very ethereal, as if it came from a faraway place. Cloud Dance eyebrows a jump. Yuguang looked at Xiaomu one eye, but saw that he was still serious staring at Shang Wenhong, although he was talking with her, but did not turn his head. Xiaomu didn't mean to let Cloud Dance answer, so he went on. "Xiao Wu, I have been with you for a long time. I know the meaning of my existence and what I should do. The Cloud family is gone, but I still believe that one day you will lead us to destroy the Beast Gate and rebuild the Cloud family. Cloud Dance's heart slowly pulled up, but still said, "What nonsense! We will live out. 10,000 Beast Door will be destroyed. We will not be less." Xiao Mu's mouth was slightly crooked, but he didn't retort. "I know. Everyone, none of them will be less." Yunwu frowned. He always thought it was strange, but before he could say anything, Shangwen's had already attacked. Black energy comes with powerful attack. Even if there are 5 willing masters, including Summon Beast, they dare not face it directly. Cloud Dance quickly pulls Xiao Mu to one side, and the ancient sword in his hand cuts to Shangwen's. Xiao Mu's eyes swept around. The base was already full of blood. The corpse was lying in all directions, and the smell of blood filled the sky. Some of the corpses were from the Beast clan, some from a Yun family army, and some even died under the big move. Even the bone poison could not be preserved. Xiao Mu's eyes flashed a touch of pain, and the smile from the corner of his mouth seemed very desolate. Finally, it is fixed on Yunwu's body, as if it can't be seen enough. It is like watching her forever. Yunwu once again pulls Xiao Mu to avoid the attack of Shangwen's. Turning around, she sees Xiao Mu staring at himself in a daze. It's no wonder that she didn't avoid the attack of Shangwen's just now, as if she lost her soul. If she didn't pull him away in time, the attack, just now, would have hit him. Cloud Dance can't help but frown and say, "What's the matter with you? Even a battle with Shangwen's can be distracted?" The corner of Xiao Mu's mouth was crooked, showing a faint smile, and said, "Little Dance, I really want to see another brilliant day for the Cloud family." Cloud Dance pursed the corners of her mouth and said firmly, "It will." "That's good." The corner of Xiao Mu's mouth moved slightly, as if he had finally decided the important thing in his heart. At this time, the attack of Shangwen's came again. Yunwu grabs Xiao Mu and wants to pull him away, but unexpectedly, at this time, Xiao Mu dodges. Cloud Dance sees Xiao would finally no longer in a daze. This just slightly relieved. Clinker Xiao would immediately gave her a word. "Xiao Wu, I really want to see the day when the Beast Gate is destroyed, but it's a pity that I'm doomed not to see it." Cloud Dance is surprised. Suddenly feel this words like where her general have inexplicable familiar feeling. But before Yunwu could remember where he had heard it, Xiao Mu left his last sentence. "Xiao Wu, take care from now on." After that, Xiao Mu's figure flashed and rushed to Shangwen's alone. At this moment, Yunwu finally remembers the scene that happened in the border under the dungeon of Wanwoman. Xuan, who had been practicing for thousands of years, exploded on the spot in order to destroy the base of Wanwoman. Xiao Mu dash Cloud Dance a sharp cry, even broke the sound, but it was too late. Xiao Mu had already rushed to Shangwen's. He held a long sword tightly in his hand and stabbed directly at Shangwen's. "Well, I can't help myself." Shangwen's sneered and didn't put Xiao Mu in his eyes. He waved his hand and released a black energy. This attack was just a random one, originally just to influence Xiao Mu's position, but unexpectedly, Xiao Mu didn't mean to escape at all, so he went up directly to the attack. The point of the long sword directly attacked Shangwen's. At the same time, there was a layer of protection layer of fighting spirit on his body. He just caught Shangwen's attack. The attack soon disappeared, but Xiao Mu's mouth left a touch of bright red blood. Speed has an impact, but still firmly toward Shangwen's. Cloud Dance has been catching up for a long time, but Xiao Mu is also in the realm of Wuling. Is it so easy to catch up? In a twinkling of an eye, Xiao Mu arrived at Shangwen's present, and then bullied himself in Shangwen's shocked eyes. His eyes were full of madness. "Ha ha ha, Shangwen's. Go to hell." Xiao Mu burst out laughing, and the sword in his hand was about to stab him in front of Shangwen's. Shangwen's frowned, raised his hand, and held the sword. The black energy spread along the sword, and the strong corrosion directly destroyed the sword. However, even now, Xiao Mu is still with a crazy smile. Not only did not retreat, but his hands directly forward mercilessly grasped Shangwen's neck. Shangwen's was shocked and instantly understood what Xiao Mu wanted to do. Madman! You lunatic! Shang Wenhong cried out in panic and tried his best to throw Xiaomu out, but Xiaomu seemed to have exhausted all his strength and would not let go. The smile on the face is bigger and bigger. Xiaomu's body begins to emerge a touch of light, and then more and more bright. That's the precursor of self-explosion. Yunwu's heart suddenly missed half a beat. He knew that it was irreparable now, but he still rushed forward. There was only one idea in his heart, which was to stop Xiaomu. Xiaomu, the cloud dance cries miserably. The body that rushes forward is pulled abruptly by the person. The Longqing evil doesn't say a word to embrace the cloud dance to quickly retreat. Once there's a sign of self-explosion, there's no power to return to heaven, and the power generated by self-explosion is extremely powerful. In the face of the known consequences, how can Long Qingxie allow Yunwu to take risks? With Shang Wenhong as the center, a blank circle has long been formed within a certain range around, and even everyone is constantly retreating for fear of being affected. Everything happened between lightning and flint, but it seemed very long. Cloud dance, 2 people haven't had time to retreat far. Self-explosion will ring out. Powerful power burst out, as if to destroy all around. Long Qingxie presses Yunwu in his arms, retreats to the direction of Shang Wenhong, and tries his best to rush out, but he still can't escape. The strength came from behind, and the defense of Long Qingxie couldn't resist at all. He took part of the damage abruptly. Yunwu, who was forced to press in his arms, clearly heard a dull hum, and the whole person seemed to lose his mind. There was a loud bang and a dull hum. One is dead and the other is wounded. Yunwu's eyes were wide open, as if she had lost all her life in an instant. A tear fell from her eyes, but she was still expressionless. Xiaomu, dead, the dragon's speed did not decrease. Even though he was injured, he still rushed forward with the help of this blow, and finally arrived at a safer place, but his back was already bloody. At the center of the explosion, there was a dazzling light. Later, there were bursts of dust. It took a long time to disperse. Xiaomu. At this time, all the people who saw this scene could not help but read the name in their heart. How are you, little fellow? Dragon Qing evil bow to see cloud dance, a facial expressionless, as if lost the appearance of the soul, worry of say. After several calls, Yunwu didn't react to them until someone from the Yunjijin came and watched them anxiously. Without saying a word, Yunwu directly broke away from the embrace of Long Qingxie and went around his back. He saw that his back was bloody, but just now he talked to her as if nothing had happened. Yunwu's heart was aching again. He raised his hand, and a soft water element was released to cure the injury of Long Qingxie. The explosion in the distance finally ended, and the dust in the air kept falling, and finally a calm was restored. Everyone's eyes were on the center of the explosion just now. They saw that it had become a piece of ruins. They couldn't see the original appearance at all. They couldn't even find a figure of Shang Wenhong in it. The life of the Beast Gate is afraid of the death of Shang Wenhong. When everyone becomes their center, there will be only one way to die. And the people of the Cloud Family Army are eager to go to the official grave and die now, which makes Xiao Mu not waste his life in vain. When it exploded, Shang Wenhong was in it, and it was closest to Xiaomu. Could he survive? Was it a blow-up? Many people think so. The wound behind Long Qingxie slowly heals. At the end of the treatment, Yunwu just hears the comments of the people around him. Shang Wenhong is still alive. Cloud Dance coldly said. The voice is extremely cold, as if from the abyss of hell. Clearly is not a loud word, but as if everyone's ears have sounded like, all people at this moment will look at the place where the clouds. Now Cloud Dance is the top master of Cloud Family Army. Since she said that, she must have felt something. I saw the people around listen to the words of Cloud Dance, have grasped the weapons in their hands, a face vigilant looking at the direction of the disappearance of Shang Wenhong. They have blind support for Yunwu. What's more, Xiaomu has just died, and Long Qingxie is seriously injured. His anger at the Beast Gate has reached the extreme. Everyone wants a rush in now. Sure enough, not long after Yunwu finished talking, the ruins suddenly moved. Yunwu's eyes were gloomy, and other Yunjiajin were ready immediately. But after all, there were still people closer to the explosion center than they were. A group of people in black robes rushed to the direction of the ruins and finished the ruins. As expected, they saw the Shangwan tomb under pressure. At this time, Shangwan's Hong was really not very good. There was a bright red mark on the corner of his mouth, and his clothes were already ragged. People close to him could clearly feel that his breath was very unstable, as if he might die at any time. At this time, it's just hard support. If he wants to start, he's afraid that he won't be able to walk for several rounds in the current cloud dance hand. However, Shangwan's Hong is used to being strict on weekdays, and other people dare not put forward anything, nor dare they tell the real injury of Shangwan's Hong, let alone care about it. Is that all? Cloud dance in the mind of such a problem. Just hurt Shangwan's Hong, but with a life of Xiaomu? Xiaomu, why are you so stupid? Even if you don't, I will save you. Cloud dance in the heart of sad thought, but all too late. Shangwan's Hong. Not far away, someone yelled angrily, but it was Shangwan's voice. At this time, he was holding a long sword and pointed to Shangwan's Hong. Shangwan's Hong, you've done a lot of evil. Now it's killing my brother. I will not spare you. Shangwan's Hong almost couldn't stand, and it was all supported by the people around him secretly, but it didn't show up. It's up to you? I'm the traitor of the Beast Gate. You are the traitor of the world. Why should I listen to you? Today, you stay here and don't want to leave again. I want you to pay for your brother after that. Shangwan was the first to rush up with a long sword. Shangwan, take me one. I want to avenge. Xiao Mu Xiaoming yelled in a hurry. His eyes were cold, and the summoning array flickered at his feet. Then he directly released his own summoning beast and followed it closely. And me, I'll take revenge on Xiao Mu, too. One more. I will kill Shangwan's Hong myself and me. One by one, the voices kept ringing, and they rushed to Shangwan's Hong. Yunwu's heart was full of anger. He held the sword tightly in his hand and rushed up like others. Just before he left, he made a special explanation to let people see the dragon pour out evil. Just now, in order to avoid the explosion and stop fighting again. There are many experts in the headquarters of the Beast Gate. At this time, the people brought by Long Qingxia are just a few partners with military power. It's really hard to deal with the headquarters. Fortunately, Shangwan's Hong has been seriously injured. Yunwu didn't feel his injury until the fight, so he wanted a revenge. But Shangwan's Hong was lucky. All the members of the Yun family army were angry, shouting loudly, "Kill! Rush to the Beast Gate! Don't let anyone go!" But after all, the strength is limited. No matter how they play, they are always in a state of anxiety. Little dance. Shangwan, look. Mu Xiaoming suddenly found something and pointed to a direction for everyone to see. People turned to see, only to find that it was such a huge army that was constantly approaching. And the leader of the army is Gao Yu. It's Gao Yu. He's bringing people, too. Shangwan yelled excitedly. Only a few of them knew about this action. It was a secret thing, but he didn't expect that Gao Yu would come at the last moment. In the twinkling of an eye, Gao Yu had already brought the Yunjiajin to Yunwu. With the group of Yunjiajin people behind him, looking at the surprise and excitement of the Yunwu people around him, he was a little embarrassed, scratched his head, and laughed. The heavy atmosphere of Yunwu and others seemed to pour in a new blood, and the whole team had vitality and hope. They turned around and looked at the surrounding battlefield. Those who had been depressed because of repeated defeats began to fight back. At that moment, they were full of strength. Why are you here? I asked you to attack the branch with all your strength. And did you tell Long Qingxi about my coming here? Yunwu stepped forward, almost without saying a word of blame, but could not hide the joy in the tone. With the Yunjiajin, we are sure to win. Some people around said, are excited. The original silence of everyone began to appear on the face of a smile. Gao Yu and others looked at each other, but they didn't speak. They just bowed their heads and laughed. The kind of upright and shy soldiers made Yunwu feel helpless for a while. They turned to look around. Everyone was very excited because of the arrival of Gao Yu and others. This undoubtedly adds to the fighting spirit of these people present. Gao didn't stop. He immediately organized a platoon of soldiers and began to let the Yun family army divide into small teams to support everywhere and continue to fight with the Beast Gate. With the participation of the Cloud Army, the battle suddenly became smooth. At this time, all the members of the 10,000 beast sect around him had begun to retreat, which made Shang Wenhong very angry. The whole body was full of black air and murderous air. The huge energy gathered the stones on the ground and shot them out. All of a sudden, the stones are like hidden weapons, flying in the direction of Yunwu and others. Yunwu was not in a hurry. He carried his fighting spirit all over his body, and countless stones hit him. Although the pain was unbearable, he was not seriously injured. He turned to look around him. Fortunately, everyone practiced and improved in Linghu, so that although he could not resist Shang Wenhong, he could protect himself. Among them, only a few people were hit by the stone of Shang Wenhong and suffered some injuries. After asking about everyone's injuries, it was determined that there was no problem. Yunwu put down her heart and rushed to Shang Wenhong with a knife. Her eyes were red with grief and indignation. She thought that Xiao Mu had died miserably, which made her repress her anger for such a long time. Now, with the support of Yanjijin, she could go to fight with Shang Wenhong at ease. Degao throws a sword flower in her hand. The other injuries on her body make Yunwu feel no pain in her arm. She is fighting with Shang Wenhong quickly. Shang Wenhong is seriously injured because of Xiao Mu's self-explosion. At this time, she is reluctant to deal with Yunwu. Looking at the cloud dancing with red eyes and silver teeth biting, Long Qingxie frowned tightly, killed the people around him, leaped up and joined the fierce battle. The battle is still in the white heat. Shang Wenhong vomits blood, staggers a few steps, and his face turns pale. He turns to look around him. His men are defeated by the attack of Yanjijin. The men of Wanwoman, who were unable to fight Yunwu and others, are now beaten by Yanjijin's men. This makes Shang Wenhong very angry. He coughed twice and coughed up blood again. Shang Wenhong knew that his current situation was urgent. He had no choice but to make a sudden effort to beat Yunwu in front of him and retreat behind him. Shang Wenhong, where are you going? Where would Yunwu give him the chance to escape? He jumped up and rushed forward. The black flame on the sword seemed to be murderous. With a strong wind, he quickly attacked the direction of Shang Wenhong's escape. Shangwan's black fighting spirit is very difficult to distinguish among people in black robes. So many people in black robes will largely ignore Shangwan's attack in such a chaotic battlefield. So much so that Shangwan can kill countless enemies in the field. Looking around, Nangong, Yi, and Qi stand back-to-back and cautiously deal with the experts in the Beast Gate. They cooperate with each other so that they can't get close to the experts in the Beast Gate. Sitolan stabbed a black-robed man in the heart with his sword. Turning around, he saw that a man of Yun family army was surrounded by 4 or 5 black-robed men. So he rushed to Yun family army from the heavy encirclement, killed the people around him, and rescued him. The Yin family army smiles at Sitolan and nods to greet him. Then he continues to rush into the battle. Sitolan takes a breath and looks down at his messy wound. He has no choice but to smile bitterly. Fortunately, there is no fatal wound. In the battle, Mu Xiaoming has been seizing the time to save the people on his side. He treats those who still hope to be saved one by one, and consumes his energy greatly. His face turns pale and wipes his sweat. Mu Xiaoming looked at the chaos around the battlefield. Can't help sighing. It seems that this battle should be coming to an end. Under the attack of everyone, the strength of the black robe people is shrinking a little bit. Finally, he was surrounded by the Yun family army, and other people formed a circle and killed them one by one. For a moment, there were howls everywhere. Those lower-level minions had been basically killed, and only some higher-level people were still struggling to support. Cloud Dance vomited a breath, looked around. The corner of her mouth stirred up a faint smile. She turned her head. Her eyes were full of murderous, looked at Shang Wenhong, murmured, "Xiao Mu, don't worry, I will definitely give you revenge." "Master," We can't beat them. Retreat quickly. An elder approached Shang Wenhong and said anxiously that there was still blood left by the battle on his body. At this time, some of it had solidified on his body and sent out a disgusting smell of blood. Retreat? Shang Wenhong's vision is still fixed on Yunwu. If possible, he really wants to rush up and kill him. Yes, sect leader, now the situation is gone. It's better to go back. At least there are many of our experts there. Go back and conserve our energy. If you don't come back again, or you will die here today, but you won't have a chance. As soon as this man's painting was finished, several people who had been around should be with him. Lord, go back. Shang Wanli also opened his mouth and said, as long as the border is opened, even if their army is under pressure, we can't get in. At that time, we have plenty of time to slowly accumulate strength. People around one after another to persuade, Shang Wenhong, in the end, or sigh. When Shang Wenhong and others saw that the situation was gone, they could not care about the life and death of other minions. They gathered all the experts, beat back all the people in front of them, and ran to the teleport array at a high speed. Cloud Dance and others have not catch up. Shang Wenhong and others have turned into a white light, disappeared in front of everyone. The smoke of gunfire and the fire of war finally subsided in a short time. The exhausted people finally had time to have a good rest. Yunwu and others finally have a chance to relax and heal. This time, although he won a great victory, he suffered heavy losses. Several experts, such as Long Qingxia, were injured one after another, and some of his troops were killed by the attack of the Beast Gate. For Yunwu, she doesn't want anyone around her to die because of fighting with the Beast Gate, although it's impossible. He hastily tidied up the headquarters of the 10,000 Beast Gate and then naturally stationed in it. The headquarters of the 10,000 Beast Gate is bigger than expected. The whole headquarters, accommodation, storage, training space is very wide. No wonder the beast can continue to transport fresh blood. Everyone quickly took care of themselves in the headquarters of the Beast Gate. For a moment, they began to bandage each other and recuperate, but the atmosphere was a little heavy. Although this time, everyone took the risk to attack the headquarters of one woman. Shang Wenhong and others were forced to leave here, but they lost a crucial partner. Xiao Mu's death made the whole team heavy and murderous. And as we all know, it's also because of Xiao Mu's death that everyone successfully won the Beast Gate. But in the end, they didn't catch Shang Wenhong and kill him. Instead, they let him escape smoothly. They couldn't bear it and didn't take revenge for Xiao Mu. They all felt a huge stone in their heart. When everyone was almost finished in the headquarters of the Beast Gate, Yunwu finally gathered the leaders and cronies of the major forces in the main hall, ready to plan the next step. Well, let's discuss briefly how to proceed with the next thing. The main hall is very wide and huge. The leaders of various forces and their confidants are all accommodated. They all take their seats one after another and talk with each other cordially. During this period of time, they have no previous estrangement with each other. Although they come from different forces, they all seem to be a team and have a tacit understanding. Now, the headquarters of the upper boundary is in our hands, which also shows that we have basically occupied the upper boundary. Cloud Dance said quietly, so everyone began not to speak, quietly waiting for Cloud Dance to speak. As soon as the words of occupying the upper boundary came out, although these people did not speak, their eyes were full of laughter. After such a long battle, they finally achieved remarkable results. But next, our task is not over. Although the headquarters have been occupied by us, the branches are still everywhere. If we don't solve all the branches, I'm afraid Shang Wenhong can build their own power in any branch, so... Yunwu looked at all of you and said solemnly, I'll give you 3 days to rest. 3 days later, I'll lead my own team to search for the remains of the Beast Gate in the upper boundary, and then kill them and attack them. That's what I'm asking you. Can we finish it? Yes, all the people present are full of fighting spirit. How can they not finish it? After all, even the largest upper bound headquarters has been defeated. How can they care about such a group of minions? After 3 days, everyone began to scatter and began to search around the upper boundary. For a moment, the whole upper world was filled with smoke and the people of the Beast Gate began to flee, but they were all killed. People in the upper world are very happy, and some even shoot guns to celebrate the disappearance of the Beast Gate. A month later, the army gathered in the headquarters of the 10,000 Beast Gate one after another to report the situation of the upper boundary of Cloud Dance. Almost all the people had been killed, and the remains of the 10,000 Beast Gate no longer existed. Everyone can't help cheering for the news. And the headquarters in the mid-air border. The impregnable border protected the headquarters from being invaded by foreign forces. Shang Wenhong, Shang Wanli, and others all recuperated in the headquarters. The battle with Yunwu made them suffer a lot of injuries and gave a lot of discount to the forces of Wanwoman. I don't know what happened to the upper bound. Shang Wenhong closed his eyes and sat down on his knees. He said calmly, as if the previous defeat had nothing to do with him. Shang Wan drank tea, frowned, and said, I think the upper boundary has become their territory now. I'm afraid they have killed all our remnants. No harm, no harm. Shang Wenhong continued to close his eyes and adjust his breath. We are in the border now. Even if they have great skills, they can't open our border and rush in any way, so we can rest assured here. Shang Wanli said, but he didn't put down his heart. Instead, he sighed and said, I'm not worried about them coming in. I just think that all our achievements in the upper world have now fallen into the hands of Yunwu. Alas, it's a pity. Hearing what Shang Wanli said, Shang Wenhong couldn't help laughing. He opened his eyes and looked up at Shang Wanli. His eyes were full of confidence and said, What do you worry about? If we can dominate once, we can dominate for the second time. Why don't you believe that we have this ability? When Shang Wanli heard this, he reluctantly let go of his worries. However, Rao was so worried about the situation. From today on, I will continue to shut down. Don't disturb me with anything. Everything in the headquarters will be left to you. Do you understand? Shang Wan was stunned for a moment, and then became ecstatic. If Shang Wenhong could be closed smoothly, wouldn't they not have to worry? So he quickly agreed. Shang Wenhong ordered to start counting the hands of the whole Beast Gate. Now, almost all the men of the Beast Gate have been concentrated in the headquarters of the Beast Gate, but it seems that there should be few left. Within a day, the people under his command reported that there were less than half of the experts in the whole beast sect, and those minions who had no ability or realm were basically gone. On hearing this, Shang Wenhong said with a smile, It's not good. We don't need to build a strong army. The incompetent people here are no longer there. I believe that the team composed of these experts will be a force they can't afford. The corners of his mouth rose gradually. Shang Wenhong was in a good mood at this time, and he had never been so good. The whole upper boundary was smooth and calm. I said, Can't they really get in the upper boundary? Shang Wanli didn't believe it and asked again. Shang Wenhong was very helpless. Looking at the Shang Wan nearby, he said, Don't worry. Even if they want to fight, they have to fight for some time. Now, the situation in Shangjia is so complicated that they don't have time to pay attention to our situation in Jiejia. Shang Wanli turns his head and looks out. Is this border hanging in mid-air really safe? In the upper world, Yunwu and others have completely subdued the upper world, and the forces in various places have been stationed to take care of the branches of the myriad beasts. By the way, they're waiting for the myriad beasts who are still wandering outside and hiding a little bit of luck. Gradually, the whole upper boundary can no longer see the black robe of the Beast Gate, and the weather in the upper boundary becomes extremely sunny. I think it's time for us to attack the headquarters of Beast Gate. Yunwu looks at the upper boundary. The upper boundary is green and beautiful. There's a smile on her lips. So before long, Yunwu called another meeting. On the scene were the leaders of all forces and the captains of the trusted troops. After they all gathered together, they were so powerful that they filled the main hall of the Beast Gate. I think everyone has finished their task, right? Cloud Dance asked. The voice through the main hall spread to everyone's ears. Everyone nodded to show that they had finished the task. At this time, Yunwu finally let go, turned to see Long, Qingqing, and others, and then said, Next, Our task is very arduous. I hope you must cooperate with us. This time, we must succeed." As soon as I heard that there was another mission, everyone's eyes began to light up. As we all know, the Beast Gate has not been completely destroyed. The main leaders are now hidden in the headquarters in the border. Everyone is very worried. If the Beast Gate is not destroyed, everyone will be in the shadow of the Beast Gate. Next, we are going to attack the headquarters of the Beast Gate with all our strength. Cloud Dance finished saying, the bottom immediately boiling up. Everyone began to talk, very excited. But at this time, Shangwan suddenly frowned and interrupted Yunwu's words. "But Yunwu, we are short of a kind of natural force. Now, without this natural force, how can we open the border?" The voice fell, and everyone was silent. As the Shangwan said, everyone thought of this problem and looked at Yunwu one after another. "Although we lack a natural force," Cloud Dance way, looking at all the people around. "But we so many people, so many kinds of power together can't, and the natural force is comparable." Everyone was stunned. The voice of Cloud Dance reverberated in the hall for a long time, making everyone's heart more excited. Yes, with so many people, so many forces and people's aspirations, how can there be problems that can't be solved? If we can't, let's make a strong attack. Cloud Dance raised the corner of his mouth and showed an evil smile. Standing on one side, Long Qingxia helplessly held his forehead and murmured, "Little guy, you are more and more like me now." Then he chuckled and shook his head. Everyone began to discuss eagerly how to attack the headquarters of the Beast Gate. Shangwan and several people gathered around the Cloud Dance. "Cloud Dance, are you sure this time?" Shangwan frowned and looked at Yunwu uncertainly. The boundary may not be as simple as you think. If you simply break the boundary, then the Beast Gate may not exist long ago. Cloud Dance bowed his head and thought for a while, but finally shook his head seriously and said, "No matter what, we have to try this time. We can't give the Beast Gate a buffer, otherwise they will certainly come back." Shangwan's eyes are full of worry. He turns to look at the people around him. Nangong, Yi, and others are all frowning. Obviously, he is very worried about this attack. "Don't worry, I have my own plan." Yunwu patted Shangwan on the shoulder and said with confidence, "But we don't know about the situation in the border, and we don't know how many 10,000 beasts are in the whole border. If we go there rashly, I'm afraid we will lose a lot." Shangwan said. This time, he was interrupted by Long Qingxia, and he said with a smile, "Don't worry. We haven't suffered any loss because of these problems. Don't worry, we will retreat all over." After that, he pointed to the group of people who were discussing fiercely. "We have not only us, but also them." Everyone sighed, silent, just don't know, this attack in the end can win. The time for the attack was soon fixed. The skyrocketing island, as the real base headquarters of the Beast Gate, is isolated in a separate space by a layer of boundary. This place, which used to symbolize the supreme rule, is now surrounded by a large army. The army is mighty, sitting on the back of the domesticated flying beast, seriously looking at the border. Today's army has been reborn. Shangjia has become its own territory. Like the human world, countless people hope to join the Cloud family army and gather the resources and strength of Shangjia to prepare more weapons and pills for them. Even flying beasts use flying beasts that are huge, the fastest, and extremely suitable for combat. The black area covered a large area of territory, and the whole Beast Gate was wrapped up in all directions. The city is threatened by black clouds. Yunwu stood on Jinling's back, staring at the gate of the Beast Gate through the border without any emotion. He didn't know what he was thinking. "Chief." When Gaoyu came back, he went directly to Yunwu. Cloud Dance Head also didn't return of ask away. Preparation of how? Return to the leader. The order is over. All the officers and men were absent, totaling 53,000. According to the strength of all arrangements have been completed, ready to attack, Gao Yu said seriously, and then he said the situation of each regiment again, which was sure. Yunwu listened carefully. Although he had known this for a long time, he still had to be more serious in the near battle. Until Gao Yu finished, Yunwu raised his eyes and said, "Okay, send someone a call for battle. I don't believe Shangwen's Hong will hide in it." Yes, Gao Yu took the order to leave and went down immediately. Yunwu looks up at the base of one woman coldly. The people who can clearly see that after the border on that floor, the people of the Beast Gate don't pay attention to them at all. Even though they are under the pressure of the army, they don't seem to be aware of them at all, cleaning and running errands every now and then. There are one or two people who are curious about the situation outside. They just look up and look at it carelessly. They don't even have the gatekeeper. Yunwu knows that all their confidence is on the border. Listen to the Beast Gate. Yunjiajin is here to challenge. Send someone out as soon as possible. Those who were sent out to fight went straight to the front and yelled at the gate of the base inside the border. The turtle of the Beast Gate, come out quickly. Tell your chief to come out and kneel down. All the people in the Beast Gate are listening. Although there was a border, it didn't affect the penetration of the sound. They all knew that the people inside could hear it clearly. Sure enough, as soon as the battle started, someone trotted in to look for someone. Cloud danced in the eyes, but no reaction. Among the 10,000 Beast Gate bases, Shangwen's Hong has been closed since he came back last time. It has been a long time since now, but he still hasn't come out. So at this time, the top and bottom of the Beast Gate were managed by Shang Wanli. What did you say? How dare they shout? Shang Wanli looked at the person who rushed in to report the situation outside. He couldn't help tightening his brow. There was always a sense of insecurity in his heart. Yes, it's hard to hear. Originally, it was a good fight, but later it was a direct scolding, saying we didn't dare to go out. That's ridiculous. Shangwan slapped the table angrily, and then stood up to send troops. But just after he started, he suddenly thought of the previous battle. He worked hard to persuade Shangwen's Hong to come back, and then immediately increased the defense of the border, which won the time to repair, and also in order not to let Yunwu fight. But now, just because the other side said a few ugly words, he went out and threw himself into the net. In fact, the strength of the real headquarters of Wan Human is not bad, but Yunwu is too strong now. They are not sure. The only possibility is to wait until Shangwen's Hong is closed. Then everything will turn for the better, as long as Shangwen's Hong can enter that realm thinking of this. Shang Wanli sat down again and said to the reporter, "No matter what they scold, they are not allowed to open the border. Do you hear me? But the sect leader, they scolded me so badly." "So what?" Shangwan said in a cold voice. "Don't forget, there is a mechanism at the gate. The things in the mechanism can be free from the bondage of the border." As soon as the words came out, the reporter's eyes lit up and said, "I understand. Do it at once." After that, he ran away happily. Outside the border, the people of the Cloud family army called for a long time, but there was no movement. They all despised the Beast Gate. "Chief, it doesn't work. Let's fight directly." One of the soldiers said with a bitter smile, "I didn't expect that the people of the Beast Gate could bear it so much. They all scolded so cruelly, but they couldn't bear it. It's very patient. Originally, they thought that the people of the Beast Gate could not calm down. When it comes to life and death, they naturally don't make decisions easily." Cloud Dance Light said, "Continue to send people up to challenge." Yes, Cloud Dance looked at the border. In fact, she also knew that there was no result, but she just wanted to know the strength of the Beast Gate. If they think they can deal with Yunwu, they may have come out long ago, but they haven't come out yet. They would rather endure dirty words. Therefore, it can only show one problem. One human thinks that they have no strength. Realizing this, a cold look appeared in Yunwu's eyes. "Not sure," Cloud Dance murmured, as if to say to yourself, "Xiaomu, wait for me to avenge you." After that, the Cloud Dance's palm turned, and the ancient martial arts sword appeared in the palm of the palm. A group of Cloud Dance's troops behind them also showed their weapons one after another. The other side of the battle is still going on, but Yunwu is not ready to wait. Since he can't scold people, he begins to attack Jiejie. Array preparation. At the command of Cloud Dance, the leader of another team, Long Qingxie, and several soldiers immediately responded. With a wave of Long Qingxie's palm, An array made in advance was directly swung out of his sleeve, and then it was infused with energy in midair, and the array instantly became bigger. The golden array stands before the border. Without saying a word, all the members of the Cloud family army immediately find the fighting spirit in their body and rush out from their palms to attack the array. For a moment, the fighting spirit of various colors kept flying, but all of them were flying towards the array. The energy of the array is more and more powerful. Finally, it comes together and gushes out from the other side of the array. It condenses the fighting spirit that has just been attracted into a powerful stream and smashes it towards the border. Boom dash, a loud bang broke out. The base of the beast gate trembled, but the border was not damaged at all. Cloud Dance frowned and continued to order. It's another powerful attack. The loud noise rings again, but it still has no effect. Cloud Dance, I advise you not to waste your efforts. If you don't have the heart to attack your partner, you will never be able to break the boundary of our beast gate. Shang Wanli's voice came from the border with a touch of arrogance. Then he saw his figure appeared in the sight of the crowd, looking at the clouds with a smile on his face, but his lips opened and the cold voice gave the order. Ready. Attack simple 4 people, but only these 4 people let Cloud Dance's eyebrows twist up. The next moment I saw that the gate of beasts was still in the open space. Suddenly, I didn't know how many strange things appeared. Cloud Dance eyebrows jump, hastily said, "All back." As soon as the voice fell, although the soldiers didn't know what happened, they quickly stepped back. Then I saw the strange things emitting black energy, extending black lines on the ground to connect the boundary, and devouring power like black holes. When the black hole appeared, the power of attacking the border was absorbed by the border. Ha ha ha, Cloud Dance. What surprise! Do you really think that the boundary of our beast gate can be easily destroyed? Power? No force can destroy Cloud Dance is short of breath, but a dragon's evil figure suddenly flashes around. I don't know when it came. Little fellow, don't you still have some special things for breaking the border? Long Qingxia whispered in Cloud Dance's ear. But it's still the same. It's cheating. Although it's still the same, we can try to use the power gathered by the array to replace the one we lack. It's better than the present hope. We have a try anyway. At the end of Long Qingxia's words, Yunwu thought about it and thought it was very reasonable, so she immediately took out the things that had not been collected yet. The tears of fire, the drops of snow mountain, the light of ancient times, and the heart of wind all appeared in front of the crowd. The people of Yun family army consciously divided to 2 sides and gave up the direction close to the border to Yunwu. Start. Dragon Xing evil a cold drink. See Cloud Dance directly throw those 4 things out. The 4 colors gathered in the air and finally gathered together. At this time, Long Qingxia once again lost the previous array to the 4 colors. At the same time, everyone once again put their strength into the array. Only this time, the power gathered by the array did not attack the border, but mixed with the 4 natural elements. With the new power, 4 colors become 5 colors, emitting a dazzling light, eyeing the border of the beast gate. Little guy, the sound of dragons, evil comes, attack. Cloud Dance force wholeheartedly control the colorful power. When the power accumulation to the peak, directly take a deep breath. In an instant, the power in the body burst out and directly beat those mixed forces towards the border. Boom dash, there was another big bang. The force hit the border and even made a mushroom cloud. The huge sound seemed to shake the whole upper world. The people of the Cloud family army stare at the front one by one. Their hands clenched show their excitement and expectation. There is no doubt that as soon as the border is broken, they will kill them immediately. His grandmother's. How heavy the smoke is someone couldn't wait and spat. But just after he said this, the Cloud Dance in front of him suddenly contracted his pupils. The next moment, in the place blocked by the mushroom cloud, as if I saw something terrible, I immediately ordered, "Back! All back away, retreat." Yes, all back. There's something in the smoke cloud dance cheers coldly. What are you afraid of? Hit the motherfucker. Kill it, they said one after another, but before they could say more, they could only stare back. Mushroom cloud gradually dispersed, but breaking through the mushroom cloud is overwhelming into the rain like black arrows. They come through the border without destroying it. The attack power of the arrow is not strong, but it has strong corrosiveness. Once it falls on the body, it will be very troublesome. The armor on the body and even the weapons on the hand will be corroded. Lao Tzu's sword. Brothers, don't stop this thing with weapons, said a man from Flint, who was the first to corrode weapons. As soon as the words came out, the others quickly put away their weapons and released their fighting spirit to deal with the black arrows. The arrow fell down like it had no end. The cloud danced and looked gloomy, especially when he saw that the border had not changed after the attack. Compared with these embarrassed people, after all, the Yunjian people are better. After special training, even if they can only use fighting spirit with bare hands, they're no worse in fighting. For a moment, fighting spirit of various colors is flying everywhere, dazzling. Little stink, how about your fire? Can we deal with these things? Hong Ling sighed, embarrassed to avoid the black arrow, at the same time to the distance of the small stink called. As a cannibal, he doesn't dare to show himself at this time. He's joking. His big body is a huge target at this time. Okay? Pure arthritis can burn them directly, but it can't be used in large areas. Small stink directly incarnates itself. The huge phoenix is wrapped by pure yang yin, blocking in front of the team, so that the people behind him will not be attacked by black arrows. A pair of beast eyes keep sweeping in the place they can't block. So many people, I can't protect them at all. I can only protect our direction. Little stink. Let's join hands, by Schwetter's voice came. At this time, she was in a ghost state, and those black arrows could not hurt her. Since these things can cross the border, let's let him go back and fight his own people. I'll control the wind. You and your friends protect the team. As soon as the words came out, everyone nodded. The division of tasks is clear. Bai Schwerer flies up impolitely. She stands on the top with almost transparent body. She spreads her hands and lets the black arrow go through her body, but she can't hurt herself. Golden phoenix wings waving, a pair of animal eyes bright frightening, a loud voice of the phoenix, as if calling his partner. Bai Schwerer raised her hands lightly, and suddenly a strong wind blew between heaven and earth. The Huhu wind direction added a lot of momentum to the battle and became more and more intense. And the wind blew those black arrows to the border. Good. A bold and unconstrained man cried out in a rough voice. This group of young rabbits. This is how to deal with them. Come on, Schwer. More wind, I said. Master Yao Wang. Don't worry about us. We all have some skills. The behavior of the two contract beasts instantly aroused people's confidence. Those black arrows constantly attacked the border of the 10,000 Beast Gate. When the 10,000 Beast Gate was unprepared, they all shot on the buildings of their own base. But before long, the number of black arrows gradually decreased, and Bai Schwerer's attack could only stop. This border is a bit strange. Long Qingxia looked at the soldiers who had some damage to their armor and weapons, and could not help frowning. I also feel as if these arrows are weapons generated by the border. Cloud Dance frowned and said. Long Qingxia's eyes were fixed on Jiejia, thinking carefully for a long time, until those arrows finally disappeared. Long Qingxia seemed to catch something in an instant. I know, Dragon Qing, Xie suddenly said. These black arrows are formed by our power to attack the border. That's why we stop uncontrollably. If we keep attacking the border, these arrows will appear again. This words, a Cloud Dance suddenly eyes bright. I know how to do. Then, without waiting for the dragon to say more, Yunwu flew up into the air and spread his command to tens of thousands of people. All of you, all personnel to the northeast. Join forces to attack the border Snow White. Once the black arrow is generated, you immediately control the wind direction. Little Stink, you are responsible for protecting everyone. Make use of pure yang to make a good barrier, blue U small 9 west ting you from that. As soon as the order was given, tens of thousands of people immediately gave a loud yes. And then they moved quickly. The team of tens of thousands of people shrank toward the northeast in this instant. What are they doing? The man in the beast gate looked at the action of the Cloud family army doubtfully. Is it going to retreat? Previously, because of Baishware's behavior, the people of the beast gate also gathered a large number of troops to the gate to guard against the black arrows that were beaten back at any time. At this time, seeing their action, they didn't understand immediately. Not so much. You see, they seemed very excited one by one. The people of the beast gate are talking about it. Even though they feel a lot of pressure in the face of tens of thousands of troops, they feel relieved at the thought that they can't break the border. However, this relief soon disappeared in the panic. Kill me, Dash, what the hell? See if I don't chop you to death. The tortoise grandson of the beast gate. I only know how to hide behind the border as a turtle. You have the ability to come out. Tens of thousands of people rushed to the border together. All the people in the northeast stood at any position where they could attack. They stopped within 100 meters of the border, put away their swords one by one, aroused fighting in their bodies, and smashed one attack after another towards the border. Some people who can only attack close up even rush to the front, carry their fighting spirit to make armor around them, and smash their weapons towards the border. Lousy is standing here. You have the ability to fight. Break the barrier. Look, I have to smash it for you, a vulgar call and curse, mixed with the boom sound of attacking on the border, was constantly introduced into the base, and the people of the Beast Gate were directly stunned. What are you waiting for? They're all coming. Go and control the border for me in the base. The head of the 10,000 Beast sect roared angrily. As soon as the words came out, the talent of the Beast Gate finally responded, and someone quickly went to a certain position in the border to control it. But 2 times, the attack absorbed by the border is transformed into a black arrow again. What are you doing? Go and attack me. Don't let them really call in. The elder roared again, and the others quickly agreed yes, and left at once. Outside the border, as soon as the black arrows appeared, the people who had been fighting close at the border immediately withdrew. It's coming, it's coming. Here comes the arrow. This is a very dangerous thing. But the words of the soldiers are full of excitement. Baishware had been waiting for a long time. As soon as she saw the black arrow appeared, she immediately yelled at Xiao Smelly, "Protect them!" A loud voice of Feng Ming sounded up to the sky, as if in response to her general, followed by a small, stinky publicity voice. "Haha, don't worry. Leave it to me." The blazing, pure yang suddenly swept out, forming a wide barrier in front of the Cloud Army, which carefully protected the people. The burning blood red, in sharp contrast to the black arrow. The scum of the Beast Gate. I'll see what you can do. White Snow Sun a Jiao drink, arms suddenly spread out. With her action, just quiet soon the sky, and earth again strong wind. The Ho wind is like a fierce, ancient beast, which wants to devour everything. The strong wind element is flying wildly in the air. Before the black arrow reaches the little stink, it is hit by the strong wind element and changes its direction. A black arrow in the wind changed direction, whoosh, whoosh toward the border. The arrows with the power to break through the border directly broke through the border and shot at the beastmen who later appeared in front of the base gate. Pushed by the powerful wind element, the black arrow's speed is more rapid. Before the 10,000 beastmen have any reaction, they rush in directly. The black arrow with a strong corrosive force, inserted into the base of the beast gate, and then quickly turned into a pool of black liquid to corrode everything it touched. Report to the headmaster, it hurts. Get out of the way. These damn Yunjujin hide. Many people in the beast gate were touched by the black arrow. Without armor, they had to rely on their bodies to resist. The black corrosive liquid fell on them, making a ZZ sound, emitting white bubbles and smoke, causing bursts of screams. What's the mess? Don't defend me. Show me what you can do. Is the beast gate raising you for free? If there is any more chaos, elder, we can't stop it. One of the 10,000 beast gate soldiers said while trying to resist the overwhelming arrows. Damn it, the elder clenched his teeth and said, Go and invite the deputy headmaster. Only the deputy master knows how to do this array. Go. Yes, one sighed. Immediately someone agreed. But before he took 2 steps, Shangguan Li's figure appeared directly in front of the door. What's the matter? Can't they call in? Shangguan Li saw the mess of the base at a glance. At this time, the gate of the base had already been devastated. Even a lot of black arrows fell from the base and eventually turned into pools of black liquid. It looked very ugly, like a swamp, and there were many corroded places on many people. Deputy Headmaster, look there. Elder quickly pointed to the outside. Upper officially sees, see all over the sky, should rush to the arrow of Cloud Family Army under the control of White Snow Sun change direction. Shangguan Li immediately realized what had happened and roared. How do you do things? You don't know how to call me until now? After that, he rushed to the place where he controlled the border. The elder stood in the same place with a careful face and didn't dare to say a word more. While directing the soldiers to deal with the black arrow, he was busy teaching people to be careful not to destroy the important parts of the base. Finally, the black arrow stopped. No matter how the people of the Cloud Family Army attacked the border, the black arrow no longer appeared. The elder was relieved. It seemed that he had closed the power conversion array in the border. Chief, the attack doesn't work. Mu Xiaoming turned his head and called Yunwu, just like the Yunjiajin, with a helpless look on his face. It seems that they can control the function of the border forehead. Cloud Dance also found this problem, just attacked a few black arrows, only a few, until disappeared. Hearing Mu Xiaoming's voice, Yunwu looked up and saw Shangguan Lijing standing in front of the gate of the base, looking at her angrily. Cloud Dance, a corner of the mouth hook, made a let soldiers retreat gesture. Looking at the inside of the Shangguan Li said with a smile, Long time no see. It seems that your strength is not restored. Shangguan Li most taboo, others say this. At this time, Cloud Dance a mention, immediately eyes wide open. I tell you, don't be too proud. What if you can use the border? Now let's take back that move. What else can you do? Is it very powerful to have such a powerful army? If you have the ability, you should call in. Yunwu narrowed his eyes and was hit by Shangguan Li. If the black arrow had been formed all the time, it would be okay, but the other side stopped, so there was no way to attack. Well, the deputy master of the Grand Beast sect has only reached the present level. Yes? What about Shangguan's Hong? Don't you dare to come out? Shangguan retorts impolitely and flies directly to Yunwu's side, looking at his father, but there is no pity in his eyes. Son of a bitch, Shangguan said angrily. I knew you would have today. I should have strangled you when you were born. You've already killed me. Shangguan retorted coldly. Who was the one who wanted to kill himself? Cloud Dance raised his hand, indicating Shangguan not to say more, but directly asked, Where are Shangguan's Hong people? Shangguan Li then put his eyes on Yunwu again. After looking at her for a long time, he suddenly made a chi laugh. Chi, if you want to know where the sect leader is, do you want to avenge Xiaomu? Yunwu, who do you blame if you can't call now? It's not you who don't want to sacrifice the rot tan flower. If you want him to sacrifice, wouldn't you have come in long ago? These people of yours still listen to you. They are a group of people who don't have a long brain. Before Yunwu had time to speak, the people of the Cloud Army behind him were already impatient. Chief, don't talk to him. This man is obviously trying to sow discord. Yes, Chief, let's fight. I don't believe it. What can a group of bereaved dogs do? Don't say to sacrifice a person. If it is for unfair sacrifice, then everyone present will not agree. Most of the people present didn't know what was going on, but every sentence was directed to the clouds. That unfair sacrifice poked many people's hearts, and everyone thought so. Not far away, Shiteng, who has been silent for a long time, felt a sudden contraction of his heart. These comrades in arms who have been with him for many days, and some comrades who have just known each other, were able to speak for themselves. So why should he stand behind so many people just for his own survival and let them rack their brains to think of ways to break the border? In an instant, Sheeting almost stood up. Don't think about it. The voice of Cloud Dance came from the sea of knowledge, stifling the pace of Sheeting. No one's life and death can be controlled by his own origin. If you have the qualifications to live and live, you should not lose these qualifications just because you are the flower of Rattan. Yunwu's voice is very calm, but it seems to have a kind of magic which will erase the guilt of Sheeting's heart because he didn't stand up. Sheeting gave a bitter smile, but said silently in his heart, "Master, thank you." Yunwu knew that even if that person was not Sheeting, but anyone present, she would not let that person stand up and sacrifice. Because every life is fair and qualified to live, we should not give up all this for others. Yunwu pursed her lips and said to Shangwan, "I just don't think you are qualified to stand here. Let Shangwan's Hong come out, otherwise you can hide for a lifetime." "All my life." Shangwan sneered and was stabbed in the pain by Cloud Dance again. He said directly, "I'll tell you, the sect leader is closing now. We don't need to wait a lifetime. As long as the sect leader closes, no matter how many of you are, you won't be the opponent of the beast sect." "Shut up," Cloud Dance shocked said. Heart suddenly emerged a bad idea. Shangwen's Hong's current strength is still closed. Is it to break through? As soon as the idea came out, Yunwu's face suddenly changed, and then he immediately ordered, "Already, attack the border, no longer caring about the others." The dragon poured out his array and put it in front of the army. The power of the other 4 natural elements was taken out again, and the attack continued. This time, people worked harder, as if they knew what the consequences of Shangwen's Hong's exit would be. Powerful forces poured into the array, condensed into a powerful force, fused with the other 4, and then roared toward the border again. Boom dash! Huge mushroom clouds exploded in the sky. But after the mushroom clouds dispersed, the scene of tens of thousands of people was silent. Border not to turn a hair. His grandmother's 10,000 beast gate, this border, how so difficult to deal with. I don't believe it. What's in the world that can't be broken? It must be our strength is not enough. A few more times. Yes. If we don't destroy the beast gate today, we won't go. Chief, try again one by one, the voice urged. Cloud Dance frowned and looked at the border in front. It was clear in my heart that the rumor was true, that only the 5 forces of nature could break the border. Otherwise, with so many experts here and tens of thousands of people's strength gathered together, how could they not even shake the border? "Master, I have a way." At this time, a figure came forward, in everyone's eyes, still firmly looking at Yunwu, said, "Cloud Dance along. See, the person is West Tongue, not from a wrinkly eyebrow. Do you have a way?" Words are full of suspicion and vigilance. Xiaomu's affair has just happened. Yunwu feels a little nervous and is afraid of sacrificing another person. At the beginning, I gave the half-flower of Rattan to Sheeting, just for not sacrificing him, and now it's impossible. But Sheeting's temperament is uncertain. I don't know if I can guess what Yunwu is thinking, but Sheeting's voice came unhurriedly. Now I can freely control the power of Rattan flower. Since the 4 natural elements can't do it, I'll pour the 5th power into it. Although it's a little different from using Rattan flower directly, I have to try it, just in case it can't. Hearing Shi Tong's words, Yunwu was relieved. "Well, try it. Just remember, don't be too brave. Tens of thousands of us are here. We can come up with a way. Yes, little brother, you are still so young and you can fight so well. Even if it doesn't work, it doesn't matter. We all support you." Someone saw the identity of Sheeting and went forward to comfort him. "Don't be brave alone. That's it. It's just a border. What's the big deal, isn't it? We have plenty of ways. Rest assured, I'm sure there will be no problem," Sheeting said confidently. Yunwu nodded and released all the 4 natural elements. A strange look flashed in Sheeting's eyes. He was not in a hurry to do what he said. Instead, he looked at the four forces floating around the border and said to Yunwu, "Master, move the drops of the snow mountain to the southeast. These four forces need to be arranged in different positions." Yunwu looks at him and is surprised that he even knows this. But when he thinks that he is the flower of rattan, he must have some connection with the other four. No longer doubt, Cloud danced directly according to the words of Sheeting will quickly adjust the position of those things. Finally, when Sheeting said, "Okay," he stopped. Shi Tung stand beside Cloud Dance, both hands raised. Immediately after, a strange power appeared in the palm of the hand. With Shi Tang's control, Tor can leave a position to fly. Sheeting's control is very accurate and dare not make any mistakes. Finally, when all the five forces were in place, a mysterious force suddenly burst out and swept away towards the border. Cloud Dance, in the heart surprised, more condensed the spirit of looking forward to everything in front of. Under that power, the border became thinner and thinner. It was about to disappear. Unexpectedly, at this time, the speed of dissipation stopped and did not continue. Then, it seems that the people of the 10,000 Beast sect manipulated something. Under the twinkling of the border, there were several attacks in an instant. They attacked the five positions. Sheeting and Yunwu took things back with a thought. The five natural elements are recovered, and the boundary returns to the previous state again, as if there had never been a problem. No way. There was a flash of disappointment in everyone's eyes, and many of them sighed. Sheeting's eyes flashed an imperceptible sense of loss, but also a sense of relief, as if he had expected the outcome, looking at the distant sipping mouth. Then he suddenly turned to Yunwu and said, "Master, can you let me try again? It's the first time I've done this just now. I'm not very proficient. I'll try again." Yunwu nodded, then handed the other four natural elements to Sheeting. The tears of fire, the drops of snow mountain, the light of ancient times, and the heart of wind are shining strangely on Sheeting's hand, as if calling for his partner. "It's too far from here. I want to go ahead and try." Sheeting looked up at the Cloud Dance and said, "Hidden in the depths of the eye is full of attachment." Cloud Dance nodded and said, "Okay, you should pay attention to safety. As soon as the other side has any movement, immediately withdraw. We are behind you." Sheeting agreed with a smile. "Don't worry, I have a sense of propriety." In this way, Yunwu finally let him go. With four kinds of natural elements in his hand, Sheeting flew to the border. He just lowered his head after flying a certain distance, looked at the strange light in his arms, and said, "Don't worry, I'm coming." Put things in accordance with the previous position. This time, Sheeting simply stood in the only vacant position, and then, in full view of the public, he suddenly exuded the same strange light as the others. In an instant, the five natural elements seemed to echo each other. The light on the body kept flashing. Later, the frequency of flashing was getting closer and closer, and finally completely synchronized. That is, at this time, Yunwu suddenly realized that the connection between himself and Sheeting was breaking quickly. There are only two possibilities for this to happen. One is that someone is contacting the contract, and the other is that the summoner will die. Sheeting. Stop. Stop at once, Cloud Dance. This just reaction come over. Shi Tung, just of everything, is to pretend. From the beginning of the failure just now, he knew that he could not deal with the border with just a little bit of the power of rattan flower. So he made a special excuse to stay away from them. Cloud Dance hard to draw. Don't want it directly toward the west tongue fly in the past. At the same time, the physical strength of the evil bite force is directly mobilized. Want to go to the west tongue rescue. Cheating. What do you do? Come back. Do you hear me, small stink? Also urgent. Phoenix's huge body directly toward the front. Cheating. Come back as soon as possible. Don't try to hold on alone. Didn't you hear what you just said? Hongling also flashed a touch of anxiously staring at Sheeting and rushed forward with the little stink. Sheeting, what kind of hero are you leaving us? If you have the ability to stay, you can kill more than 10,000 beasts. Shiting, Bai Shuer, Lan Yu, Xiaojiu, Jinling, these partners have been used to each other's existence for a long time, and a friendship can't be compared with others at all. At this time, they have already rushed forward one by one. But Shiting was smiling and said, "It's too late. It's useless. My body is about to disappear." They had already arrived, but they found that their bodies could not touch Shiting. At this time, he was left with an illusion. Even Bai Shuer couldn't touch him. His body is gone. Don't be sad. I'm glad to hear that you value me so much, Shiting said with a smile, looking almost transparent, and the smile on his face was particularly desolate. But you don't know, the more I hear you say that, how can I take it for granted to hide behind you? I am the flower of the rattan, and the flower of the rattan is me. From the time I speak, I have my own destiny. Even if I have the soul and thought and the right to live, I can't escape this destiny. I'm so selfish that I want to hide and watch everyone helpless in the face of Beastgate. How can I be the flower of rattan? Fortunately, everything is still in time. I stand out. You can fight, and Shitung's words came, but Yunwu was not moved. He wrapped Shitung with a little magic power that he could not easily control and wanted to pull him back. However, when the power of Magic Bite passed through Shiting's body, Yunwu couldn't believe looking at Shiting in front of him. At this time, he couldn't even save the power of Magic Bite. Master, go back quickly. Take the army with you and go in while the border is broken. Yunwu's heart trembled. At this time, he didn't have a word to spare. What he wanted was to let her lead the soldiers to kill her. Master, I only have one life. Don't forget there are many lives behind you. Sea Cloud dance no movement, Shitung said again. Master, don't forget this is the battlefield. Master, I really want to fight with you and kill tens of thousands of beastmen myself. But I can't, so you can help me to kill more. Master, can I be regarded as a meritorious person, or I gave my strength to destroy the Beastgate? Master, I have never regretted in my life. I recognize you as my master. Shiting's voice gradually became weak and finally disappeared completely. Where he had been, he could not see the body, even the human soul. Only a complete flower of rattan blooming in place then. The strange light scattered everywhere and fell on the border below. Where the light of 5 forces passes, the boundary disappears instantly. Chief, the border is broken. Kill it, someone yelled. Then, the voice of shouting, fighting, and killing became clearer and clearer, mixed with the screams of 10,000 beastmen, and they were afraid of the damage of the border. Shiting dash, the shrill voice came out one after another, and the contract animals had been crying for a long time. Even the little stink could not control it. They raised their heads and gave a voice of foaming, such as the cuckoo's blood and eyes full of sadness. After breaking the barrier, the 5 natural elements fell on Yunwu's hands one after another. Yunwu lowered her head and looked at the things on her hands. Then he suddenly raised his head, his blood-red eyes as if he had lost his sense, his eyes cold looking at the one human base exposed in front of the army after the border was broken, and his voice cold spewed out a few words. Kill me. None of them. One man died, another man died. Her friends left one by one, all because of the Beastgate, all in order to be able to successfully destroy the Beastgate. Today, no matter what, she will let the Beastgate disappear completely, in order to sacrifice the spirits of those soldiers in heaven. Kill Dash, the cry rang out, and the soldiers rushed directly into the headquarters of the Beastgate with their weapons. When they saw people, they killed them, and tens of thousands of troops went in directly to fill the originally spacious place. Kill the dogs. Avenge our dead brother. Revenge for Shiting. Revenge for Xiaomu. Revenge for our family, these bastards. We must destroy them today. The soldiers roared and rushed into the base of the Beastgate. The weapons in their hands and the armor on their bodies were all bloodstained. Even the weakest soldiers on weekdays were not afraid to rush into the battle at this time. Yunwu had no time to remember what he had in his hand. At this moment, all the sadness and pain turned into hatred for the Beastgate. With an ancient sword in his hand, He rushed into the team like crazy and killed everywhere. It seems that it's just to let off steam. Yunwu doesn't even bother to use his fighting spirit and the power of elements. With the continuous waving of Guwu broadsword in his hand, he killed countless enemies with brute force. Long Qingxia, Shangguan, and others have been around Yunwu all the time. Because of the death of Shiting, they also become very angry. They are mercilessly killed with one move. For a moment, the battle was more like a one-sided massacre. Help! Help me! Run at the sight of this posture. The people of the Beast Gate immediately got flustered. What's more, they didn't fight for a long time. What's more, they didn't attack the Yun army only at this time. Dragon, Huang, Fire Beast, Human World, Upper World, and so on, all the local forces are concentrated together. Shangguanli was shocked by the scene in front of him. He didn't think of it. A moment ago, he was still mocking that the Cloud Dance army couldn't get in. In the twinkling of an eye, he killed the convenience. What's wrong with Yunwu's partner? One by one, she's going to die. Why on earth Shangguanli? Don't wait for Shangguan to react. Cloud Dance's icy voice first spread to his ears. Then, Shangguanli saw a flower in front of him, and a figure appeared directly in front of him. Shangguan stepped back. The strong wind sounded in his ears. Guwu broadsword almost wiped his face. A few strands of chopped hair fell on the ground. Shocking. Shangguanli, I just want to ask you one question. Where is Shangguan's home? Yunwu raised Guwu broadsword, pointed to Shangguan, and asked coldly. His eyes were cold, as if he would rush up and crush him as soon as he didn't answer. Well, I want to know where the headmaster is. We have to win first. If you have the ability, you will kill me directly. Shangguan sneers. He was locked up in the dungeon by the Yin family army, but he didn't give in. Now he is on the battlefield. How can he give in easily? Yunwu's eyes were cold, and he didn't talk to him. The black flame of Guwu's sword suddenly broke out, as if a living fire snake could devour people. At the same time, 7 kinds of light on Yunwu's body suddenly twinkled. Wind, wood, water, fire, earth, thunder, space, 7 elements burst out in an instant, including Cloud Dance. Just in an instant, the speed and attack power of Cloud Dance reached the peak. With a wave of the ancient sword, he rushed to Shangguanli with the speed of wind element blessing. At that moment, Shangguanli seemed to hear the roar of the blow and wanted to eat himself up. It is clear that the strength is just retrogression. At this time, it seems that there is no strength at all. He can only stand in the same place and watch the approaching attack. Shangguanli almost lost his ability to avoid. Just at this time, a man from the 10,000 Beast sect nearby was just kicked by someone. His powerful power directly made him face Shangguanli and bumped Shangguanli to one side. 2 people banged. One fell on the ground not far away, but also because of this let Shangguanli avoid this blow. Cloud Dance wrist a turn, quarter of the eye glimpses not far Shangguan figure, always active figure at this time, like in a daze looking at Shangguanli. Shangguan. Cloud Dance a exclamation. With a wind blade cut to the Shangguan side, it is preparing to attack 10,000 beastmen. Shangguan then recovered from his stupor. His sword danced quickly, and he saw the man who wanted to attack. Then he turned to Yunwu and said with a smile, I'm sorry, Shangguan spoke for a while, but found that he didn't know how to explain his behavior just now. Could he say that he couldn't watch his father die in his friend's hand, so he would kick the beastman in the past? It's clear that his father has committed many evils, and even tried to kill himself again and again, but why can't he do it at this time? Cloud Dance saw the struggle on Shangguan's face, clear in heart. Light said, Don't worry, you just deal with other people. I know how to do. After that, without waiting for Shangguan to say anything more, Yunwu waved his sword and ran to Shangguan again. Shangguan was stunned for a second. Then he turned around and bit his teeth. Thinking about what Shangguanli had done in the past, he forced himself not to look at it anymore and turned to enter the battlefield again. The base fell. In the past, the headquarters of the Forbidden Area, which was regarded as the supreme place by various forces, has now become the existence trampled by tens of thousands of people. In the past, people who were afraid of the Beast Gate now vent all their anger on the people who had bullied them and lost their dignity. With a knife, a sword, a gun, and metal collision, they block all their lives. It's up there. Kill. Kill these animals, and we'll be free. None. Kill them all. Take back our own home. For the people. For family. Kill them, the soldiers screamed and roared. Weapons fell into their bodies and made a sound of puff and blood splashed. Their bodies were dyed red, including the blood of 10,000 beast men and their companions. Gongzi, a rough man with sharp eyes, saw his partner was stabbed in the chest by a beast man, a pair of eyes as big as brass bell. Puff, a splash of blood, some fresh blood directly splashed on the man's face. That pair of copper bell, like eyes instantly attacked by anger. Beast, take your life, the man roared, and the steel knife in his hand looked fiercely at the beast man. The power of Wuzong's state burst out in an instant, and the blue fighting spirit covered his whole body. The beastmen probably didn't think that they just killed one person and even attracted a stronger enemy. Under the powerful pressure, they couldn't even dodge. They watched the steel knife hit them. The next moment, brain burst. Gongzi, Gongzi. You stand up, the man pulled up the man who had fallen to the ground and yelled. They came up from a human world together. Their hometown is the same small town, but they were blood-washed by the Beast Gate a year ago because they refused to obey the rule of the Beast Gate. The night before tomorrow, they were still drinking and eating meat together. They saw the victory in front of them. They were feeling about the changes of the world, thinking that they would soon be able to destroy the Beast Gate, and thinking that they could go home and marry a daughter-in-law to live a safe life. But today, on this battlefield, my partner died in front of me without warning. Gongzi Dash, roared the man, his eyes full of hatred. Only the two of them survived in the whole town. Now, he is the only one left. How can we not hate? However, no matter how he called, the man he was holding couldn't hear anything the man roared. He grabbed the steel knife in his hand and chopped at the beast men around him. He wants revenge for his friends. Revenge for your family. Revenge for everyone in town. Only by killing all the scum of the 10,000 Beast sect and completely destroying the 10,000 Beast sect can we be regarded as revenge. Such an idea flashed through the hearts of millions of people present. Everyone worked hard to kill the enemy. One fell down, and more people stood up. The battle lasted for a whole day and night. In the past, the bustling one-human base was completely reduced to ruins. Bang! Shangwan's back hit a hard wall, and a mouthful of blood gushed out from his mouth. I'll ask you again, where is Shangwen's Hong? Cloud Dance's eyes are cold. No one dares to get close within 3 feet. All the people of the Beast sect walk around her for fear of angering her. Even in the face of thousands of troops, they are not willing to face her alone. Ha ha! Shangwan touched his chest and sneered. The laughter grew bigger and bigger. In the end, it turned into a wild laugh. Ha ha ha, Cloud Dance. Don't waste your efforts. Do you think I'll tell you now? You can never stop the promotion of the goalkeeper. Ha ha ha. Yunwu tightened her brows and raised the sword again. Looking at Shangwan's face, she didn't kill him. She didn't even make him feel miserable. She just abolished his cultivation after a few moves. If she had changed others, she would have been tortured. But Shangwanli still refused to speak, even forced Yunwu to kill him again and again. Little fellow, the sound of dragons, evil comes. Then, the man appeared at Yunwu's side and said, the battle is almost over. These people of the Beast Gate are very easy to deal with. They don't even see 2 strong opponents. I think they must have hidden the experts and waited for Shangwen's Hong to pass. Yunwu's face sank, and the Shangwan on the other side sneered. Little guy, it's not too late. Let's go into the base now. We can't let Shangwen's Hong break through anyway. Long Qingxie suggested. I feel that if it's too late, it's too late. Hearing this, Yunwu nodded, then called someone directly, tied Shangwanli back, turned around, and went into the base with Dragon. This base is a floating island, with its own heaven and earth inside. Although the buildings outside are in ruins, We found something similar to an altar inside. Be careful. This is the headquarters after all. There must be something strange. Dragon Qing Evil will Cloud dance behind, sighed Sirius said. I understand. Cloud Dance nodded seriously, eyes swept around the altar, and then saw a secret tunnel. Go there to have a look. Long Qingxia looked in the direction of Yunwu's finger and saw a secret road, so he nodded. As they walked carefully to the depth, they explored around to see if there was a place for the experts to hide. After all, there must be a lot of experts in the Beast Gate, so it must be easy to find them all. All of a sudden, Long Qingxia seemed to feel something. He suddenly looked at the middle of the altar, where there was a faint light emitting, as if there was some power calling him. But when Long Qingxia saw that thing, his face suddenly became very difficult to see. What's the matter? Cloud Dance sensitively discovered the strange of Dragon Qing Evil. Can't help but ask. Long Qingxia was stunned. He turned his hair and saw the Cloud Dance. It seemed that he didn't notice anything. He couldn't help being silent for a moment and said, There's a passage over there, too. I'll go there and have a look and act separately. Cloud Dance's vision sweeps to the side, as expected sees a secret road, then nodded, explained, Careful. The two separate their actions, but the dragon didn't go in directly. On the contrary, they walked towards the altar after Yunwu left. With the approaching of Dragon Qingxia, the light became more obvious, like seeing acquaintances. Long Qingxia only felt that the closer he was, the more flustered he felt. Finally, in the middle of the altar, Long Qingxia looked down at the light. After a long silence, he raised his hand, and an array emerged from his palm. Without any hesitation, he covered the light. Yunwu walked along the secret road all the time, but he didn't find anything. When he was about to go to other places, he suddenly felt that in the base, an unprecedented strong breath oppressed the whole space, unprecedented powerful. Then the whole base trembled violently, and the sky fell apart. Little fellow, step on it. Shangwen's Hong is out of the pass. It's going to collapse here. Long Qingxia didn't know when he appeared here. He was in such a dangerous situation. Mingming is close to the exit, but he doesn't leave. Instead, he rushes towards Yunwu. Until he gets to Yunwu's side, Long Qingxia grabs her hand and holds her up and flies out. When they just ran out of the base, they suddenly felt that the energy was getting closer and closer. Behind them, a dark shadow was covering the sky. In the hazy sunlight, the hair and beard danced wildly, and the clothes were flying wildly. Suddenly, the faces of all the people on the scene were serious. Looking at the back of the dragon and the cloud, almost all of them held the weapons in their hands and watched carefully in front of them. In the middle of the battle, the figure of Shangwen's Hong was in the air, and the pressure was everywhere. A group of people standing below even turned pale because they could not resist the pressure, as if they might fall down at any time. Even so, no one has the intention of shrinking back, still gritting his teeth. I saw the figure of Shangwen's Hong falling from the air. His clothes and hair were black, and his face was ferocious. Be on my guard, Yunwu said to the people around her. Her brow gradually frowned. She looked at Shangwen's Hong in the sky. Her eyes gradually cold, silver teeth dark bite. The atmosphere of Shangwen's Hong is too strong now. Yunwu can't help feeling that she is far away from Shangwen's Hong. Facing Shangwen's Hong, revenge will be more difficult. All of them have put their weapons in front of them. Countless people on the other side of the Beast Gate are very excited because of the appearance of Shangwen's Hong. Their morale is rising. They come out of the main hall and attack the cloud dancing team. And these people around Yunwu began to fight with Wanwoman one after another. Cloud Dance is very alert to see the figure of Shangwen's Hong gradually fall to the ground. Came to them, that abnormal familiar face. At this time all are very proud smile. I didn't expect that Shangwen's Hong would be out of the pass so soon. Cloud Dance frowned and whispered to the dragon nearby. He seems to have broken through. He feels that the whole person's breath is more powerful and hard to deal with. Everyone should be careful. Long Qingxia didn't speak. He just turned his head and looked at the people around him. They all knew clearly and nodded seriously. The whole air is full of seriousness and tension. The whole border is full of choking smell. Yunwu, I haven't seen you for such a long time. How can you not make any progress? Shangwen's said, with a smile in his eyes. The whole person was very lazy, but he made people feel more dangerous. Yunwu's eyes are colder and colder, and he doesn't say a word. His eyes are full of killing and indifference, and his face is frosty. The whole person seems to be immersed in the ice, which makes his companions can't help looking sideways. The weapon is in hand. The energy has wrapped the whole sword. Yunwu's eyes are narrowed. The whole person is on high alert. He wraps his whole body with fighting spirit, but he doesn't dare to be careless. The whole scene was full of tension, and the battle was imminent. Good. Shangwen's eyes swept through the base, but finally highlighted these two words. He looked at Yunwu with a smile on his face. In a short period of time, he was able to break through the border and make my territory look like this. Yunwu, I really underestimate you. If I don't show up, the battle will be over. But unfortunately, that's the end of your success. Next, I want you to pay for it. All of a sudden, Shangwen's wrapped in a black fighting hand, immediately attacked the cloud dance and turned into a flash of lightning in mid-air, like a sharp arrow. With the wind, even the clothes were straight. In a twinkling, Yunwu had reached his side. An extremely strong pressure made Yunwu almost suffocate. He quickly stepped back a few steps, but he escaped the fatal attack of Shangwen's. But I didn't expect that the beast of Shangwen's was very fast. After his strength was improved, he was not comparable. Just for a moment, he immediately turned around, his right hand stretched out and grabbed at Yunwu's neck. Yunwu has no way out at all. Seeing Shangwen's fingernails have touched her neck, a trace of pain makes Yunwu's brain wake up for a moment. Shangwen's looked at her with a sneer in his eyes. Through his cold eyes, Yunwu clearly saw that what he reflected was his tight face. Too fast. Yunwu's brain just reflected this sentence in an instant, but he already saw that Shangwen's in front of his eyes had become a nothingness, leaving only a corner of black clothes. Long Qingxie stands behind the cloud dance. Suddenly his heart sinks, and the secret way is not good. Then he flew forward, quickly grabbed Yunwu's shoulder, and pulled her back. His right hand quickly pushed towards Shangwen's shoulder. Shangwen's couldn't keep his balance for a moment and could pass Yunwu. Rao is so. The neck of cloud dance also was delimited a not shallow bloodstain. Seeing that Yunwu was injured, Long Qingxie frowned deeply. While carefully looking at Shangwen's figure in the field, he gently stroked Yunwu's neck, pursed his lips, and wiped the dripping blood clean. Cloud dance in the heart micro-movement also did not speak the water element on the neck wound hemostasis. Shangwen's seems to be very upset that Yunwu is suddenly pulled away. Originally, his gaze at Yunwu turns to Long Qingxie. A sinister smile appears on his face. Then he turns quickly and rushes towards Long Qingxie. At the same time, Long Qingxie's heart was tight. His eyes narrowed slightly, and he quickly sidestepped to avoid it. Rao was like this, but he was also scratched by Shangwen's and his eyes became colder. Shangwen's strength has improved too much. Is this the realm of Wuxian? Long Qingxie protects Yunwu behind him and looks at his side. Shangwen's was very fierce. All the people who stood in his way were torn, with blood and limbs everywhere. Those who were lucky enough to avoid the attack of Shangwen's had been scared so much that they were easily killed by the black-robed people around them. Ha ha ha, with the leader of the sect. These people are here to die. The experts who came out of the hiding place laughed and said, yes. Fortunately, the sect leader has the foresight to let us preserve our strength, so that we can stay until now and kill these people with our own hands, said the other, laughing. Yes, the sect leader is brilliant. If the cannon fodder is dead, then it's the real feast. The wild laughter of the experts of the Beast Gate was mixed with the fighting sound, which seemed very rampant. In fact, when these experts appeared, the Cloud army was forced to retreat. Bah! These bastards! Just now I dare not come out, but now I've come out to fake tiger power. Brothers, don't panic. Our leader and dragon boss are not vegetarians. Yes. Damn it, the soldiers fought their lives, and they could never lose now. Even in the face of the sudden emergence of the experts, they did not shrink back. In a few words, the morale returned. Well, if you don't see the coffin and don't shed tears, I'll let you know the power of our experts in the Beast Gate. Yes, kill them, and give me food and wine. After that, the two sides are fighting together again. Besiege Shangwen's Cloud danced suddenly away. Shangwan and others suddenly realized that Chi took up arms and moved quickly to the direction of Shangwen's. Several soldiers divided into several routes and surrounded Shangwen's together. When Shangwen's turned around, he saw that Yunwu and others had surrounded him. Several acquaintances, one by one, were smiling. Suddenly picked up a man's weapon on the ground at random, stood in place, waiting for the arrival of Yunwu and others. At this time, Shangwen's whole body was wrapped in the black fighting spirit, and his face was ferocious. The black fighting spirit was constantly steaming upward, as if there was a black fire all over his body. It was frightening to just look at it. Don't be afraid. Everyone cooperate well and follow my orders. Cloud dance serious say, the vision does not blink of stare at the upper official grave. Don't worry, Mama. We are not afraid at all. Small Stink said seriously, pure blood Demon Huang's king demeanor in this moment. Don't worry about us. We're not weak. Nangongi said with a smile, his eyes bright. That's right. The last battle will be fought anyway. Chinite Color closely followed to say. The corner of Cloud Dance's mouth conjures up a smile. Fortunately, in this dangerous time, the partners around us are still courageous. Good. Everybody up, Cloud. Dance no longer say more. A simple word. Everyone started together, directly toward the Shangwen's. Small Stink has been the first to come to the mid-air. Toward the head of Shangwen's dive down. The mouth of the beast a loud call, straight out of the flame. But Shangwen's didn't look at him at all. He just slowly raised his hand and waved it toward his head, as if there was an invisible energy. In an instant, Xiaoqiu was attacked by the invisible one, whining and flying backwards, and then fell to the ground, obviously injured. Everyone's heart suddenly sank. I didn't expect that just one move could have such great power. As expected, the realm of Wuxian is different from Wuling. Be careful, everyone. His moves are strange. I'll take the lead. Cloud Dance said. The hand of the ancient martial arts sword clenched, 7 colors of elements wrapped in the body, the black flame burning on the knife, directly toward Shangwen's. When Shangwen's saw Cloud Dance coming, he could not help but raise a smile and looked very disdainful. He didn't worry until he got close to Yunwu. He suddenly raised his hand and threw out his sword. The sword was wrapped in his black fighting spirit and flew to Yunwu with the wind. Yunwu's eyebrows are frowning, and more fighting spirit gushes out, which tightly envelopes the whole body. The whole person is in the purple fighting spirit, and the stones and dust that come from the air and around are all bounced away by Yunwu's fighting spirit. Ha ha ha! Shangwen's suddenly gave out a burst of hearty laughter, which made the people around Yunwu feel very harsh. She frowned and was very careful. She didn't slack off and was not afraid. Little fellow, I'll accompany you. Dragon's evil voice sounded in his ears, as if to give great support to Yunwu. Holding the épée in his hand, he flew forward and stood side by side with Yunwu. Obviously, it's just an ordinary move, but it makes Yunwu feel at ease. With a slight nod, Yunwu gives out a Be careful. Now he's enough to be a threat. Cloud Dance mouth reminds away. Now here can withstand the prestige close body, also only they two. I understand. The dragon is in response to the evil. Yunwu and Yunwu approached each other, holding the sword and épée in their hands, but they didn't go straight to Shangwen's. Instead, They suddenly divided into two groups, one on the left and the other on the right, and bypassed Shang Wenhong. When Shang Wenhong saw that they were avoiding, he sneered and suddenly turned to attack Yunwu. This gave Dragon the chance to pour out evil. He suddenly turned his body and attacked Shang Wenhong's back. Seeing that Yunwu and Long Qingxi attacked together, Shang Wenhong suddenly turns around and grabs Long Qingxi's épée with his left hand. As he pulls back, his steps slightly deviate to avoid Yunwu's attack behind him. Then he turns around and takes a hard shot to beat Long Qingxi out. Behind him, Yunwu's sword came again, but he didn't turn his head. However, the black fighting spirit wrapped in his body flicked Yunwu's sword away. Yunwu was pushed to stagger for several steps before he stopped. He only felt the blood in his body rolling and his mouth smelling sweet. At the same time, those who were not close to the body directly released the attack in the distance, and all of them greet Shang Wenhong. A small skill in carving insects. Shang Wenhong sneered, and his figure moved quickly. He dodged all those attacks. The release of powerful pressure makes it more difficult for people to attack. Originally, his strength was not as good as that of him. Now it's even more difficult for him to be distracted and resist the pressure at the same time. Still not. Long Qingxie returns to Yunwu's side, wipes the blood at the corner of his mouth, gasps heavily, and is obviously injured. Protect yourself. He sighed and spat out a mouthful of blood. His face was very dignified, but in a twinkling of an eye, several experts came out to encircle him. But in front of the Shang Wenhong, but stood there intact, a face of calm. Why afraid? Shang Wenhong asked, smiling and fighting. Shang Wenhong's smile is very cruel in this cruel battle, with corpses everywhere behind him, blood stained the land, wailing people, and desperate eyes. In front of Yunwu's eyes, Xiao Mu's determination and sadness at the time of his death suddenly appear, and he suddenly remembers the tearing heart and splitting lung at the time of Xu Yin's self-explosion. Sometimes, what makes people despair and angry most is that they are full of resentment, but they have no way to vent their feelings because of their lack of ability. She turned her head and looked at those who were still fighting. Some of them were covered with blood, but they were still fighting. Some of them were bruised, but they were still fighting. She had brought them, and they should have been brought back by her. Her eyes suddenly turned red. Then, she clenched the knife in her hand and clenched her teeth. Her tears were swallowed by her. The murderous spirit on her body suddenly rose to the sky, which moved people around her. Cloud Dance suddenly released all the fighting spirit of the whole body, and without saying a word, attacked Shang Wenhong, which can't be underestimated. Shang Wenhong finally frowned slightly, with a trace of vigilance in his eyes. When the sword was waved, people around her were moved by the strong wind. The purple fighting spirit was like a ghost, which wrapped the whole body of Yunwu. With the greatest strength, she threw the sword at Shang Wenhong. The huge blade made Shang Wenhong look surprised. But Shang Wenhong didn't worry. He took a small step back with his left foot and then put the sword of the man he just picked up across his chest. However, the strength of Yunwu's attack was too strong. The sword was just an ordinary long sword. In an instant, it was split in two by Yunwu's knife. Shang Wenhong obviously didn't realize this problem, and his face changed. Cloud Dance's corner of the mouth raised a faint smile, but it didn't distract him. Instead, he continued to cautiously chop toward Shang Wenhong's neck. There should be his most vulnerable place. Shang Wenhong frowned tightly. Almost at the same time, he continued to lift the broken sword in his hand. In an instant, a strong fighting spirit was added to the sword, and then he continued to block himself. This time, Yunwu didn't cut off the broken sword so smoothly. With a bang, the swords collided with each other, and the fire flashed everywhere. Yunwu suddenly stepped back a few steps, and Shang Wenhong, also frowning, stepped back half a step, and the broken sword in his hand had been broken into pieces. After taking a deep breath, Yunwu only felt his wrist numb and looked down at his hand. His mouth had been torn and bleeding. His hands were shaking, and he could not even hold his knife. Her face was a little pale. She frowned and looked up at Shang Wenhong, panting. It was obvious that this attack had exhausted her strength. Seeing the strength of Shang Wenhong, Yunwu felt more cautious. When she turned her head to look behind her, Long Qingxie had already come to her side, shoulder to shoulder with her, and was also very embarrassed. "What's the situation?" Long Qingxie asked. "No, Shang Wenhong is too powerful now." Cloud Dance pursed her mouth seriously and shook her head. "This kind of random attack is not good at all. I think we need to discuss the tactics." Words have not finished, but suddenly heard people around smile, and then very helpless and said with doting, "I am asking how your situation, not to ask him." Smell speech, Cloud Dance along. Light relaxed a breath to say, "I am all right." Dragon tilts his lips and suddenly feels happy. He reaches out to touch Yunwu's head. Then, the Ape throws a sword flower in his hand. Before Yunwu speaks, he attacks Shang Wenhong. But Yunwu is afraid of what's wrong with Long Qingxie, so she frowns tightly and follows up in a hurry. The Guwu sword in her hand is wrapped by thunder elements, which is magnificent. Without hesitation, Long Qingxie stabbed him with a sword, turned his head and glanced at the clouds behind him. "Keep up." Mingming didn't open his mouth, but Long Qingxie's eyes clearly said these two words. Yunwu understood in an instant and followed closely with a big knife. Just after a fight, Long Qingxie was beaten back several steps. The corner of her mouth overflowed with blood, and she almost didn't stand firm. Yunwu wrapped water elements in her left hand and gently stroked his back. After a short period of treatment, she continued to rush toward Shang Wenhong. Long Qingxie wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and followed Yunwu to attack him. One after the other, they hardly gave Shang Wenhong a chance to fight back. The two late Wuling masters were overwhelmed with attacks, which almost caught everyone off guard. However, Shang Wenhong didn't see enough of them. Such an urgent attack only led to Shang Wenhong shaking his head and sighing. "It's too slow. Both attack speed and dodge speed are too slow." Shang Wenhong pats Yunwu with one hand, but grabs Long Qingxie's sword with the other. The strength is so strong that Long Qingxie can't break free. But Yunwu sees that Long Qingxie is trapped, so she quickly turns back to help, but Shang Wenhong suddenly throws Long Qingxie to Yunwu. All of a sudden, the two people threw out together, and a black fighting spirit from Shang Wenhong rushed into the two people's bodies through the dragon's sword. In an instant, Dragon Qingxie and Cloud Dance almost sprayed blood at the same time. They were beaten out and fell to the ground. They didn't get up for a long time. "Little Dance. Long Qingxie." Here we are. Shangwan's voice suddenly appeared behind him. Before Yunwu had time to look up, he saw that Mu Xiaoming, Gao Yu, linking Shui and Meng Bai had leaped in front of them, and he saw Shang Wenhong rushing towards here. "You're too slow." Shangwan's face was light. "We've been waiting for you for a long time." Nangong, Yi, and Cheese look at each other and don't speak, but they seem to agree with Shangwan's words. The masters of the Beast Gate are hard to deal with, and they have been delayed for a long time. It's not easy to clean up some of them, so we're here in a hurry, leaving Sidu Lan alone to lead the army. "Don't worry," said Mu Xiaoming. "Be careful." Cloud Dance suddenly opened his eyes to remind that Mu Xiaoming's reflexive body just dodged the blow of Shang Wenhong. Almost at the moment when Shang Wenhong arrived here, Long Qingxie rushed directly to Shangwan and others, and the Ape crossed in front of them. Shangwan and others saw that Long Qingxie had already got up, and they all stepped forward and stood in front with Long Qingxie. Shang Wenhong is worthy of breaking through the barrier. Now his strength is advancing by leaps and bounds. Several people can't stop him, but they can't stop him. Let him break them up. Long Qingxie couldn't help his blood gushing out, and the injury in his body was a little more serious, which made his face even more pale. Looking at the direction of Shang Wenhong, he frowned tightly, and his eyes were very dignified. "It seems that you still have no choice but to wait for death," Shang Wenhong said sarcastically. Looking at a few people, he looked very joking. "Even a few more people can't change the result. I'm not going to play with you anymore. That's it. Some of you I'm missing," Shang Wenhong suddenly said over there. Then he stepped on the ground and jumped up in an instant. The terrible figure instantly leaped in front of several people, so that everyone was shocked and quickly took up arms to resist. At this time, I heard someone behind me shouting, "Cloud Dance, we are coming." Cloud Dance turns head to see to go of time. CC2 land to take a pair of human horses to have already arrived nearby. "How are you doing there?" Cloud Dance asked. "There is no problem. The experts have already dealt with it. Now how can we defeat Shangwen's Hong? This is the most worth thinking about," said Sitolan. Yunwu looked at him and saw that his body was full of wounds, blood, and mud. He couldn't tell whether it was the enemy's blood or his blood. However, he was in good spirits and didn't seem to be seriously injured. When Shangwen's Hong saw Yunwu, almost all the people gathered together and said with a sneer, "It seems that they're going to die together," said, "The speed does not reduce. The moment has swept to the side of Cloud Dance." Cloud Dance just retreated half a step in the hand of the ancient sword with the strong thunder elements to the official tomb attack. But this time Shangwen's Hong didn't take any weapons, as if he was very confident in his own strength. The strong in Wuxian realm still have the assurance to defeat the people in Wuling realm, even if they are unarmed. Bare-handed? Too confident. Seeing Shangwen's Hong like this, Yunwu's eyes brightened and sneered in his heart. Then, under the cover of the black flame jumping on the Guwu broadsword, the left hand swept Irradian neatly, and the 7 elements were instantly excited in the body. Then they appeared together in the palm of the hand. Under the powerful control, the 7 elements quickly gathered together and finally turned into a colorful ball. Just looking at it, you can feel its power. Then, under the control of Yunwu, the colorful ball went directly into the black flame of Guwu Degeo and hid it instantly. Until this moment, Yunwu came to Shangwen's Hong's side, and the ancient sword in his hand cut to Shangwen's Hong without hesitation. Shangwen's Hong gave a sneer. He didn't notice the little action of Cloud Dance. He stretched out his hand and held the sword with his right hand. Is that the only strength? It's not enough. Shangwen's Hong's eyes are full of satire, just like a cat teasing mice. The hand holding Guwu broadsword was like baking in the black flame. However, Shangwan didn't seem to feel the burning heat. His face didn't change at all. The fighting spirit of Wuxian realm was wrapped in his hand to resist the attack of the black flame. Well, just don't you know that being too conceited is not a good thing, especially in the face of a cunning enemy? Cloud Dance said with a sneer. The next moment, Shangwen's Hong seems to have found something. His face changed dramatically, but it was too late. The colorful ball hidden in the black flame quickly got into Shangwen's Hong's body. The Cloud dances a corner of mouth to hook. Low voice says, "Haven't finished yet." Then, the power of evil bite emerged in large numbers. Along the ancient sword held by Shangwen's Hong, it also went straight in like the colorful ball. Damn it, Shangwen's Hong roared and clapped his palm at Yunwu's chest. This blow exhausted all his strength. The attack under the indignation was not what Yunwu could resist at all. However, Yunwu had expected this for a long time, and knew that the speed of Wuxian could not be resisted by himself. He was doomed to be unable to avoid this attack, so he immediately carried all the strength in his body and added several layers of protection to the position where Shangwen's Hong attacked. You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.